Are we good?
I'm ready.
Do we have the feng shui popping?
Let's do it.
You have
Okay.
the con.
Okay.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys and gals out there in podcast land? This is another wonderful episode of SFXXPLAY Off the Rails. With us today, we have Hazmat.
Hello, everybody.
Big Mo.
Yo.
Simply Dave.
Hey.
And I am your host this week, Foxy Steve. We have come off the heels of yet another lovely E3.
It was lovely enough.
It was. You said come.
It was a nice
I
hand
sure
job.
did. I sure did. Before we get started into the show, I just want to do a quick bit of housekeeping. There'll be our SFXXPLAY. We do have a YouTube channel where you can listen to this podcast later at youtube.com/SFXXPLAY. You can also check us out on podcast services around the globe, like our Facebook page. And I think that is all there is. We just did a new video with our E3 reactions. Our hype moments. Only a couple, because there wasn't that many moments to be hype about.
It was a lot of tears. It was a lot of tears, though.
It wasn't even tears.
It was a smaller E3 from what people have seen on when they were there. Sony wasn't there, so you have this big space just empty and things like that.
It's still weird with Sony not being there, being that since this generation that was the flag system.
Yeah, I mean, they have a good reason to it. They're like, we don't have anything to really... Why be there if we don't have anything to show?
Yeah, and it's also smart since they do their own event now.
Yeah.
Why would we show all of our stuff when everybody else is showing our stuff? Where we can show our own stuff and then be the main talk.
A lot of people do that, where you can own the conversation.
That's right.
A lot of people are doing that lately.
That's the way to do it.
So yeah, it's weird, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, at the end of a console cycle, PS5 and Xbox right around the corner. I mean, Microsoft. I mean, they had to be there. They're like, if Sony's not there, we got to be able to steal the show. They didn't though.
They didn't steal the show because they not.
Which was
this.
And I guess we can kind of start there. I guess if you want to start at Microsoft.
That was the beginning. So let's start at the beginning.
We can spend 2 seconds on EA Play if you want to. They didn't really have an actual,
Let's start at the beginning.
He said
In the beginning,
He said EA Play.
there was a loot box.
He said EA Play, not instantly yawned.
Yeah, no, all they had to show was, only thing interesting was, I guess, Jedi Fallen Order, which to me was a terrible fucking demo.
The question I guess that I'm having at this point in time is, are they ever going to live up to what we want for Star Wars anymore?
No.
I think Amy Hennig's project was going to do that, but they canceled all that shit.
1313, right?
But after that.
And Darth Maul.
There was gonna be. Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
right.
that's right. There was a Darth Maul in the
There
works,
was a
and
Darth
that got
Maul
canceled.
that was the prequel to the future of Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And that got canceled. So,
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. This is the first. This is maybe the outside of Battlefront. This is the only thing that's non-shooter that will come to this EA contract with Disney. Man, they really woofed that whole deal, and they still have, I think, 2-3 more years on it. Disney should just cut that cord and get that shit out of here. They canceled like 2 projects. They canceled a project. They canceled 2 projects. Other project fucking failed, which is Battlefront. And then I have this coming out. The demo didn't play well. It's just like.
But let's be honest. It's a Star Wars game. People are going to buy it.
Oh, absolutely.
People are going. So it's. Will it be good?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But is it going to make the money? It's going to. It's
absolutely.
going to make the money. So.
I kind of sort of disagree with you guys because I liked what I saw. It looked fun to me. You're playing with a Jedi, lightsaber. He runs off walls. He slices dudes in half. I think that's really cool. But I can understand where you guys are coming from because you see this in a lot of games these days, and it does kind of come off.
I don't want showcase.
Bland.
I don't want a showcase game anymore. I want something that's going to intrigue me.
Right.
Mechanic. Don't get me wrong. Mechanics are great in games. I want the game to be fun, but I also want to enjoy what I'm playing. I want to have a solid state of something of what I'm playing through. You can't give me a blank canvas and then be like, okay, and then the story just looks so, Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I mean, great. We've seen a small portion of it, and it is set just before the events of Rogue One, which, I mean, I fucking love Rogue One, so that's a nice touchstone for me. It even got Forrest Whitaker's eye in that game, looking away. It's like rendered perfectly. So, I'm not gonna just shit on it right away because there's no,
I'm not saying
potential and it could be good. I just don't.
Not saying it's terrible, but I mean, does EA have my stake in anything to where I can to where I can in faith say yes EA, you have my money?
No, it's not earned. No, they have to earn that back.
They have to earn that back.
And I know it's Respawn doing it. You can definitely see Titanfall DNA in it, but like
definitely, especially with the wall running and
all that
stuff.
But they haven't done a third-person action game before. Well, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna wait on that.
My main thing about it too, I feel like it's gonna be short. As in, like, the moment you really start to like get into it, then boss fight, then boom, that's it.
Yeah,
and then,
I mean,
and then by looking at the demo, even though I know it's a long ways before it comes out.
We don't have that long.
I don't remember the release date.
It comes out in November.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
From what it looked like to me, and I could be wrong, or maybe just overanalyzing it. To me, it looks like the controllers. It looked like the controls could be stiff as fuck.
It doesn't even look like the controls are stiff as fuck. What I saw, I did not have fun. When I see a gameplay demo, and I don't know, everybody else probably does this too. I try to implement like how I would feel playing that demo.
No,
right. So I'm like, I did not get an excitement for it. When he was going through the troopers, I'm like, this looks weak. This looks so weak. I'm like, I'm not getting anything
from what
out
of
that.
I did hear from people who played it on the floor that like playing the game, it's like way more fun than what we saw. Like how it feels.
Okay. Well,
like the lightsaber part does not feel like weighted like God of War does, but the combat as a whole, everything you're doing with the force powers feels good. Like all the force powers feel really good. So that's what I heard. So guess we'll find out in November.
We'll find out.
Offhand, did you know if Cheese played it?
No, I don't know about anything Cheese played. He hasn't put anything on Twitter. Not that I know about what games he played. So, be interesting to hear. But yeah, so that's a wait and see scenario. And then they showed a bunch of sports games.
Yeah.
And then which I mean, I hate to write off because they put a lot of work into them. These people, it's amazing to put something out that's that same quality within a year. It's crazy.
We know,
but we already know.
We know it's coming.
There was nothing else. They didn't want to go into Anthem because it was a garbage fire, so they just want to try to quietly fix it for the.
So they didn't mention Anthem at all. No expansion packs or nothing.
No,
it's actually from what I heard, the team that was actually on Anthem, a majority of them have now left to go work on Dragon Age.
So they just gave up on it.
Yeah. I feel like there's still a team left to quietly fix it for the fans who are still playing it.
Yeah,
it's a very low support thing for it, just to say this is bug glitches and this is a little bit, but it's nothing major.
5 people in the janitor's closet.
Just playing that shit. Game is awesome, y'all.
5 people in the janitor's closet at EA.
I mean, we all kind of knew this game was not going to be much because after just watching it, we're like, and it's like anything else.
And like my idea is because the biggest issue with a lot of games is E3 was a lack of gameplay and a lot of pre-rendered trailers, cuts, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think my theory is that a lot of people did have an Anthem or a Watch Dogs back in the day kind of conversation of, okay, we have this game, we don't think it's ready to show. Do we do a half-baked demo? Do we do a demo that's a vertical slice that may not be what the game even is going to look like? Or do we just show this trailer?
We're playing this on rendered PCs and what we have and everything, and we have to produce this on across multiple consoles.
This might be a PS5 or Xbox or next Xbox game, and we have no idea what that thing is going to look like when it's finalized.
And then that way it prevents... That is committing social suicide for your game because you're going out there and shooting yourself in the foot because you're like, this is what you're going to get.
And then
we should have waited and put that on the next console. So we're not even going to talk about this right now because if it does go to the next console, which we can announce the next console, then we can say, hey, this will be on there.
So that's I don't like it. I don't like that we didn't see as much gameplay as I would have liked to see from stuff that seemed interesting. Going into Microsoft, certain things didn't make any sense. Like Gears 5 should have had some gameplay. And I know they had
since that's right around the corner.
Yes, and I know they showed.
That is so weird.
They showed the escape mode after on Mixer, but nobody's fucking watching that shit.
Nobody wants to see that. People are actually. They actually did do a solid story for Gears now.
So you know what? No spoilers because it just beat Gears 1.
I didn't even touch Gears 4, so I know nothing.
I hear Gears 4 is like the best one.
Really?
So,
it was hands down. It was just woo! That's all I got for that right now. That it was a ride. It really was.
So that part out, man. He screamed pretty loud to the
so let me tell you, beating Gears 1, my backlog is so fucking good. So yeah, Gears, that shit was fun. I got to play through it with Chris, and that shit was.
You did the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah. And I've got Game Pass, which honestly, Microsoft, I didn't hate their conference. I thought it was a good conference, but it needed to be a great conference.
They're doing great with their
services.
The service is
Game
great.
Game Pass is a godsend for me. Someone like me, I fucking love Game Pass, man.
It's because I was tripped out. Probably nobody cares or everything, but I went on Game Pass and I'm like, oh shit, vampires on there.
I saw that.
So I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I want this game. I had it. I traded it in because I just didn't have the time, and I'm like, let me get something for this while
every week
while it's still there. And I go on there and it was like vampires on here. I'm like, oh shit, I can play.
I haven't turned on my Xbox.
I just downloaded Doom.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna have fun.
But Wolfensteins, both of them
are
on there
those.
now too. So you can even get ready for Youngblood, which we'll get to that in a second. Okay. But yeah, I'm like Game Pass, their service that they're doing, and that was great what they did with the PC version of Game Pass.
And then Ultimate, rolling everything into one package for $15 a month.
$15 a month.
That's amazing,
That's a sweet deal.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead, Mo.
My main takeaway from Microsoft, besides Game Pass being an amazing service, my only thing too is that since Gears is one of their flagship games and that we got nothing,
and it's coming out this year. It's coming out in a few months,
and it's coming out in it's June in 2 months.
It's great.
3 months.
Yeah, you would think that would show something.
It's coming out.
I don't even remember what it looked like last year.
Where you didn't have to give us a main story beat. You could have at least showed us a mission. It didn't even have to be the whole mission. It could just be hey, this is what it looks like running on the X. Then you see maybe a firefighter too or whatever. But once you get to a save point or a cutscene for where you don't want to give away the story, they could have been they could have ended it right there.
As you do usually with stuff
and then they could have went into this is also our brand new mode.
I think what they really honestly wanted to do, because what we honestly keep hearing about this is unlike any Gears game that we have ever played. That's what they keep on saying. They keep on saying that it's
I'm pretty sure it is, being that.
And I'm sure that we might go into this and we might see the environments on what we're used to in Gears. We might see a new environment. We might see a more open Gears at this point. So they pretty much are really maybe just trying to keep this really tight lit because people are excited about it. Don't get me wrong. Can you honestly say?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I'm buying it. Have you been disappointed with Gears?
I'm buying it day one. Don't get me wrong.
Right. So
I'm buying it day one.
So I guess they just really are just we really just want to put a fresh take onto this because we know that people are going to buy this.
My only thing is that since they putting that much on it, just give me
They gave you a sprinkle. They gave you the mode.
No, man. I'm about to say no. I'm not even thinking about Escape.
Escape does look fun though.
even though it does
I saw
look fun,
gameplay after the fact.
I'm
kind of down for something.
Even though it does look fun, and I do want us to.
What is Escape?
To play?
Okay, Escape. Just real quick, Escape is a mode where the characters go into like a hive, and then you plant a bomb that releases this poisonous, deadly gas that kills everything in it.
Oh, that's
and
what
then
that
you gotta
was.
fight your way out before the gas.
That's what that was.
Yeah, and it gets increasingly harder, and you start off with like not many weapons, and you keep go through, and you
like
it's a horror mode.
But in reverse.
I love horror mode, man.
So it looks fun.
And then also, side note, if we can get that Trick Daddy song in the game while you play Escape,
man. Oh, when they played, I'm like, this is so old.
I know, man. It was like
but
high
it fit
school.
though.
I mean, it fit
though.
It was so out
It
of,
was high school, man.
it was so out of place to me. I was like, really? Okay, yeah, right. This is a long time. Let's go. Okay.
But that was just my only thing. Since they putting so much on it, at least just give me just a little something.
Yeah, it was very odd. And then like other stuff they showed, like the things that made me fascinated, like Outer Worlds. I'm really into that. It looks like better Fallout.
It looks like it's
more polished Fallout. But
I was thinking the same thing because I was looking at it. I'm like, what is this? Is this Fallout? I was really confused because they're like in space. I'm like, is this a new Fallout game or something?
Yeah, they debuted it at the Game Awards originally.
Yeah.
And it had like a kind of a more lighthearted tone. And I guess it's like a more story based trailer. And then but then the thing is, it's not an Xbox exclusive game. You know, a lot of stuff they showed, third party stuff on PC.
I think they're doing the thing where they have like the rights to it, like for the first few.
Well, they own the studio.
Right.
They just don't own that particular game. That game was done before they bought Obsidian.
So I think it is one of the things where they actually are going to release it on Xbox first, and then it does release to like how they did with like Tomb Raider and stuff.
I think it might be coming to Game Pass.
It is. That's going to be one that's going to be on there.
So I mean that's cool. Like I said, it's their services. But what they really needed, because they keep showing stuff that like makes people who already own an Xbox happy. They really need to show things that wants to bring people in to Xbox happy. So
yeah, but they're not, because they're not offering any, on them both the systems. You know, when they come out with a game, if I did not have an X, I probably would just buy everything on PlayStation.
That's the thing.
If honestly, but then anything that's not exclusive, I'm like, okay, well, there are certain games I'm like, okay, I want to see this on the X.
The best it can look. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I want to see it on that.
That's my mantra. Anything third party that's not like a multiplayer game where I know everyone's going to be on PS4, I get on
X because you want to see it in that.
And I prefer that controller. It's way better to me than PS4.
But Microsoft isn't doing anything that makes anybody, like, if you want VR, get a PlayStation. Unlike Xbox, if you want an X to look good, well, there is that money that you have to have to do. Well, I want VR. Then here's another $500 that you got to do for VR because if you want Oculus.
I mean, they're active system-selling franchises right now. All they have is Gears, Halo,
which we won't see until the Scarlet.
Which they already said launching on Scarlet, which we don't know much about besides the tech.
My only question about Scarlet is this an iteration of a one, or is it going to be an actual new console?
This is a
new system.
I can get into the nerdy shit. Like, this is using AMD's new architecture they've got coming out along with PlayStation using the same chipset, and it's right now the stuff coming out is the stuff just coming out for PCs that are like high end shit. Like the tech that they announced, like, I'm sure they're gonna get like subsidies to make that shit affordable,
right?
So the box can be affordable for people who want to buy it. Because it is next gen technology, which does piss people off who literally
just got an X because they came out with 3 iterations of the same system. You know,
and I can't
have
the
original. And Sony did the same.
Four. Correct. Yeah. Correction. 4. The original.
The S, and now the discless.
Exactly. I forgot about that. They did that. But because they only doing they have the download only system, which is cheaper.
Oh,
it's cheaper. Right. It's like $100 cheaper than what an S is.
That goes into my theory of, should that sell well, I'm sure they're gonna have 2 different versions of the next Xbox, where one's with no disc, all digital, and one with a disc. Now, if it's cheaper, may go ahead and go discless.
I want to go discless.
I can't do that because I am one of the people that I enjoy looking at my shelf and seeing.
And it's good to have both options.
And then also think about this, David. Yeah. If it's trash, you're stuck with it.
Ooh, I can't take that back.
Unless they actually do implement that thing where they start allowing you to sell the license for.
I could totally see that.
If you can like trade in a game or something.
Yes, here's what Steam does. If you play a game for under a certain amount of hours and you don't like it, or if it's glitchy or it doesn't work, under a certain amount of play hours, you can return the digital license back to Steam and get your money back.
I can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. It has to be under a certain amount of hours though when you do that.
Yeah, it's gotta be under like 2 hours of gameplay time or something like that.
Okay.
Which is what pissed me off about there was some game I played that did not work.
And you spent
it was WWE.
And you spent
all the time trying to fix it.
2 hours trying to fix it, and they're applying that to your actual gameplay. Yeah.
But it's there, and I can totally see with digital becoming more and more of a thing. Yeah. We can see that by GameStop stock tanking.
Yeah.
But the problem is they still didn't really show anything that makes you want to go, oh, I'm getting a Scarlet. Now, I'm getting a Scarlet because I go where Halo goes, and I got a problem. So, and I also need to have everything.
Right, I got the problem on. It's just like it's a new system coming out.
Yeah,
am I pissed? Yes. Am I going to get it? Well, shit. Let me put my $100 aside to pre-order the bitch right now, so that when they do it, I can just go right into it.
The reason why I'm pissed is I've been wanting to get another Xbox for the longest time, and now I feel like I can't do it because we got a Scarlet coming, and I'm stuck with this OG Xbox. There's nothing wrong with it.
My opinion now, it pretty much is, unless there's something wrong with your Xbox. Because I have a feeling Scarlet, pricing wise, unless they do price drops this year, isn't going to be too far over what an X currently costs.
Right.
So
unless you really go into that thing and they're like $650.
No. I don't see it. 500 max, and I think this time, if PlayStation is also 5, no one's going to even bitch them on about the price. As long as they have the games to back it up, no one's going to say anything about $500. No, if they're both the same price, no one's gonna give a shit.
No.
The only reason people gave a shit before was Xbox was 5 and PlayStation was 4, and so they were like, "Oh man, this is so much cheaper." Also, Xbox Xbox wouldn't have been $500 if it didn't have that fucking Kinect in the box. The Kinect was $150 alone.
It was the Kinect that was.
The Kinect made the Xbox go up in price that much.
I love the Kinect though with the Xbox One because I could just change the channel with my voice. I thought that was really sweet, but then it died and.
I still got my Kinect.
Well, the government got other info out of you, so they just turned it off.
Damn.
So no, that's the thing. It's like if they honestly just really to the point, if you want a new system right now,
you're gonna want to wait.
Yeah.
They're both backwards compatible. Well, the thing about I know with the Scarlet. They're still gonna have to go through the same stuff they're going through now with 360.
Because you still have to get the license.
Because you still need the licenses. Now they said since then they do their contracts way differently now, so anything on Xbox One will just work. Because I feel like they go, okay, if we get this license, then we want this license needs to last this long to work on this system. But it just wasn't like the conference didn't have enough oomph for to really be exciting. They had Keanu with Cyberpunk.
I need to tell you something. I gotta tell you something.
I gotta tell you guys something.
No, I mean that was great, and from what I'm hearing, his character is actually like a staple character.
It's not a bit role. Yeah, he's there though. He has the second most dialogue of any character in the game.
That is pretty. You know what? It's funny that
outside of your own.
It's funny that they actually did that because years ago when Keanu he had done A Scanner Darkly, and he was saying that he believed that at a point actors were just this is the future of where movies and stuff were going to go. He originally said that.
Yeah.
So, seeing him now taking and going back into a role that is him being digitized like that is really good because he was one of the people that was saying like, I see this is where this is going to eventually go.
Yeah. Yep. The head of CD Projekt was like, when we think Cyberpunk, we thought Keanu. approached him and had him say he was, he was totally down for it. He likes the story.
I'm pumped for Cyberpunk, man. I need it.
He's in there. He's in there with that's part of the story. I'm gonna try not to get super excited because it's like, we don't know what this game's gonna really look like. But now the game is essentially, the game itself is pretty much done. Now they're just putting this whole next thing, is polishing it. And I heard the demo, they extended like the 50-minute. There was like 2 demos shown. One was really short and only in the mall, and apparently very uninteresting. And then like they showed like press inside a 50-something minute demo that made the whole thing come together and was like interesting.
This is what we wanted Deus Ex to be.
Pretty much. And I'm sad because I've been trying to get into the new one.
It's not good.
And I can't get into it.
It's so boring.
And I was thinking about re-downloading it last night because it's on Game Pass.
So boring.
They're all boring. I don't like Deus Ex.
I played quite a bit of Human Revolution.
I played Human Revolution. I did like Human Revolution.
How many people can you stuff in the bathroom, These bodies can get
and I went through that. That was another one I went through, non-lethal.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, apparently with the Cyberpunk the same way. Cyberpunk, you can go through the whole game non-lethal if you want to.
I always like doing non-lethal. It extends the game longer.
Like the way they're like making this narrative work. I rewatched the gameplay from last year that got released. And just the way they have things connect, with the way it's like, this thing happened in this mission because you chose to do this beforehand.
But I mean, it's CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, and
Mo just convulsed. No, you gotta be silent doing what? Oh, okay.
It's
Kitty.
The cat is causing mayhem. Everybody,
very tiny cat. Just running around, just
get out of there. No steak for you.
Yeah,
scared the hell out of me.
But
So eyes look at me. Ooh.
I'm very excited for Cyberpunk.
Me and you, we're all about that.
I did the same thing. Also, I watched last year's footage and then seen all the new stuff. The fact that this looks like a potentially 30+ hour campaign.
Oh, longer than that.
Oh, it may be longer.
It's this is a full-on just RPG.
This is bigger than The Witcher 3.
I like that's what I like. And then me and you have talked about this because this is the shit that we're into.
No, this is what I'm excited because this is my shadow run that I'm finally gonna get. I'm getting a real. I'm getting a real shadow run that I was like, oh my god.
See,
and then just having Keanu in there is just the icing.
See,
just the icing on the cake.
When I look at this game, I think Blade Runner, I think Fifth Element, and I love sci-fi and stuff.
Definitely Johnny Mnemonic.
Like, I love that sci-fi and the urban look, and then like with the cyborgs and stuff, just how dirty and gritty the city looks.
They have stats like, they have stats like agility and strength and all this. Then they have a stat for just having street cred called cool. And your clothes, in addition to giving you stats to your normal stuff, increases your street cred, and it unlocks different dialogue options because people will treat you differently based on how you are dressed. Like,
that's insane, man.
But like I said, CD Projekt Red, they know how to do a game where you can get engrossed in the story and everything. And I mean, look at Witcher. I did one thing where I would go into a house and, I'm looting stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, I found a letter. And that letter led me to a mission, which then the mission that I went to do, I go to do that mission. That mission leads me into another mission. So I'm like, well, crap. Yeah. Then I have to backtrack my way after I finish one and then complete the missions that I was doing on the way to the one.
Isn't that fun though?
It is. It's fun. It's that sense of discovery, and I love games that give you a more organic sense of adventure that you just came across this. It wasn't just kind of spoon-fed to you.
Right.
And then you can go and do your... That's the thing about open world games that I can do is if it doesn't feel like I'm trudging through an open world. I'm just... going through doing stuff, I'm not checking off a list. I'm, Ubisoft open world games. Ubisoft open world games are very much you're checking off a list.
It's controlled open world.
It's controlled. They all play the same stuff. Like Witcher or Cyberpunk appear to be more like Far Cry. It's very more. You come across
it. Like I said, you open up a chest and it leads to something. This wasn't nothing that led you there. You're just like, what cool stuff can I get? Right. And then here's a mission. Exactly. You're like,
right.
So that.
And then also with CD Projekt Red, since they do everything under the sun, they take their time and their effort, and when they pump out games, the final product shows that they give a damn. where
they're
they
not
want
rushed by
they
some
want
publisher
their
to
right.
do it.
They're not rushed by time crunch, or the publisher wants it at this date. Blah blah blah. They basically said, "Screw the middleman. We doing everything."
I'm excited for my thank you card. I'm gonna get inside.
Yeah, they do a written thank you card in there. You know, for their just like some indie game type stuff.
Okay, I love getting that, and I'm like, I care.
I feel special.
So yeah, like I am totally on board for Cyberpunk. Like first I was halfway in, you know, I was like, okay, maybe I'll get this after E3 and seeing everything. I am 100% on board.
Yeah, the only
for this game.
Well, it comes back to my point though. Cyberpunk, not an Xbox exclusive.
It's still
That's not Xbox.
Well, that'll be the system I'm getting it for.
Oh yes,
so.
because I'll be getting it for the.
yeah.
Unless I have a PC good enough by then, it'll be on my X. But it's just a matter of Microsoft showed that their conference was very much a good standard fare conference. But it was not a conference that needed to go. This is our next system. This is what you need.
It was not a Microsoft showcase. It was just us presenting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It wasn't necessarily geared for them. It wasn't tailored for them. It was just presenting that stuff to say, hey, guess what? This will be on Game Pass, pretty much.
I think this was Infinity War, and I think their next conference next year is Endgame because that's the console launch. That's when their games will be probably more ready to show.
They'll definitely show
all their development studios they've bought and the ones they invented and all this stuff to make all these games. Those games aren't ready yet. They just started making them games like a year ago. So
you need a couple of years.
Yeah,
a little bit of time. At least we may not get anything from them just yet, but at least by that point in time, they'll have something to show us. Yeah, that then we'll get by that point in time.
So Microsoft, that's why I gave them a B because I'm like, what they showed wasn't bad. They needed more.
I can honestly say a B was a good one for them because at least they're like, we don't have anything, but this is what we can offer you. And they offer that.
That's a good way of putting it.
It's like, this is what we can offer you. We don't have much. This is what we'll present some stuff for us, but this is what we can offer you.
If they didn't have that console to talk about, it could have been a Nintendo Direct style thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Microsoft needs their own. Honestly, they really do need their own direct conference that they could pop in and just say, hey, guess what?
And they have XO, I think it used to be called XO6. I can't remember what it's called now, but they have an indie more focused one for smaller announcements that they do for fans.
Right.
But, they definitely needed something more. And that really goes into my next thing of, I think it was Bethesda next. They really didn't need a conference. A lot of these guys did not need press conferences to show the games that they had because I don't think because Bethesda's games, their future is not ready, and all they can really do is reiterate on Elder Scrolls, fix Fallout.
Yeah,
Ghostwire is the only thing. That's the only thing that they showed though that Bethesda offered in that conference.
Deathloop.
Deathloop. I keep forgetting about that. Pre-rendered as well.
No DB.
Sorry.
Ghostwire, Deathloop, and Doom was literally the only thing.
They didn't have anything.
But hell, they could have done Doom by themselves. They did Doom by themselves.
And honestly, I will say they fucked Fallout 76 so much that they probably did require a press conference to say how much they need to unfuck the game
and say sorry.
I am honestly, when I bought my X, I got Fallout 76 with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it came with that bundle.
They actually kind of intrigued me because it's free to kind of play.
Fuck that.
To kind of play that. It was like they. I mean, here's the thing. For anybody,
put them in the box. Fallout 76 in the corner. Fuck that.
For anybody else that doesn't have it, I wouldn't say, hey, go get it to play it.
No,
it's literally on my system right now, and I'm like, you know what? Just to see what they're talking about, I would just give it a shot. Just to have my hands-on experience that I can say, okay, at least I can say this is what's fucked about it, and it's not anybody else's thing, especially due to the fact of, well, I'm not paying anything for it to do that.
And it sucks because some people aren't just into Fallout, and I understand that.
Right.
Very janky game series. Everything they do is kind of janky, but we forgive it usually because the game world is packed with stuff to do, and it's fun. I love Fallout. Love Fallout 3 to death. Played it so much. Fallout 4, I couldn't really get into as much.
Loved it.
I could not get into Fallout 4.
I love Fallout 4.
I think my issue is that I wanted more than what they did. I wanted what a Fallout 4 was going to look like in 2015, and instead they gave me Fallout, like basically it was Fallout 4, like Fallout 3, but it was a bit prettier.
It was Fallout 3 with a lot less stuff. It wasn't even a lot of enemies in the game.
You know, it's the difference of. It's why I'm looking forward to Borderlands 3, because the difference is Borderlands 3 is what I would love to have seen Borderlands 2 look like in 2019. You know, it's all the stuff I love, but better. This was just more Fallout of the same, and they really need a new game engine. But then it's still a good game. But 76 was not at all. It was just like there's no story.
There's nothing to do there.
NPCs.
They're trying. No, see that's the thing. They're trying.
And they are.
They're trying. At least
bless they high.
At least for the people, you got to give them the credit. For the people that do have that game and did buy it and spent the time and they're like, I really want to like this game, but I can't. At least they're trying to give them something.
Of course, yeah. Anytime you offer a live game, you have to service your audience.
It wasn't Anthem.
You know,
it definitely wasn't Anthem.
It wasn't Anthem.
Oh, that's not fucking up.
Right.
Yeah.
So at least I can say that they didn't do what Anthem did because some people just kind of got.
I can tell there's
a game.
All right. Yeah, I can tell that there's accountability. You know,
right, yes.
But Bethesda isn't like
they understand. They understand. It's like, oh,
yeah. They care enough and they're transparent enough to know. Like Todd Howard ahead of time was like, he did an interview on IGN and was like, we knew the game was going to be rough when we released it because we've never done anything quite like that. It's not like Elder Scrolls Online. That was a different team doing that.
Yeah.
76 are them, and they've never made a game like that. And so it's just a matter of knowing what you screwed up and trying to fix it after the fact. Now, what he said and what they should have done was have a beta that lasted like a good while, like a good chunk of time for people who, if you bought Fallout 4, here's the beta code for 76, so we can get you in early, so they can understand how the servers work and what was fun and what wasn't.
I would have been all over that too.
They could have honestly, they could have did a game preview for it. They could have done the game.
I would have been all over
that. For that.
Or anyway,
we have stuff happening off air.
They should have done a preview.
Now,
and then all I had to show was like. I'm sorry, I can't help it. A fucking like producer for this show is being weird as fuck. He's going.
I think he blew his ass out by accident.
Did he poop himself?
No,
I don't know.
That's the off the That's off the rails. It don't matter.
To go into
what else did Bethesda even? It was mobile games.
Oh my god!
They were hanging on
so many mobile games.
They're hanging on Elder
Scrolls, Blades,
Commander Keen.
Oh, I remember. Holy crap, I have a good memory. And it's sure that stuff is good, but it's mobile games, and that's not what you're here for E3 for. You're here for hype. You're here for Megaton announcements. You're here for, oh my god, it's Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield. Which aren't anywhere near ready.
To thread to another one that did not just carry their weight in their press conference at all. And I mean, there are people that are like, okay, I'm on board for this.
What game?
Ubisoft.
Oh.
Did not.
No, they didn't. And I want to hit on one more thing with this before we go to Ubi, because that's next. Next.
We get to you.
But like the fucking guy, I hate these people who try to jump up fake hype, and you bring in like plants who just woo and ow and oh yeah every little thing, and it becomes cringy.
It does.
Oh yeah, Fred in the audience.
Yes.
In the Ubisoft console, Fred was at about a 4 million. I need you to bring that down to about a 2.
Yeah, no, that was Bethesda. It was insane.
Yeah.
Woo! And like,
Doom
Eternal looked good.
And of course,
it looked great. And honestly, I am glad for one thing. I'm getting other worlds in Doom.
Yes.
To touch on to that was one of the main things that I had ever said, because in any Doom, I have always just had Mars of Hell. I just had that's what I've always gone through. Now we're getting this
Earth.
We're getting actually like a form of what heaven is because we're getting the form of a heaven planet.
Get into some of that lore.
We're getting the Sentinels planet.
This is why, like, Doom Eternal is why I re-downloaded Doom, because I didn't really give it a fair chance, and I didn't really play. I played it for like an hour. And
I mean, it was great to actually have real story for this that was intriguing.
And the story is good,
right? It was real story.
I think I played this first one for maybe 20-30 minutes, and I was like, and I just never played it again. And Chris was like, "You're crazy. You gotta play this. They gotta really sit down and play it." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I re-downloaded it. So I'm looking forward to, because Eternal looks fucking gorgeous, and I forgot Doom looks fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's just a lot of fun.
Now, I have a question. Was that an angel in Eternal?
It probably is, because like I said, because they have a thing where it is like technically they have gone into an apocalypse form of destruction in this now. So it's like, so we're getting both sides that are at that, like Earth is at the core, center here. So we're getting like a surrounding battle of what it is for mankind.
So it sounds like Armageddon. God damn.
Because we briefly saw.
I was on it.
The heaven stage or whatever it was. I thought it was Valhalla.
No, I saw cathedrals. I was like,
no. That's what I'm saying. I saw the cathedral, and then the one thing that had the wings and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And being that how the story of Doom is a little bit kind of like Norse mythology. I mean, not much, but there's like tidbits to it that's kind of like Norse mythology. So like, I thought it was like Valhalla, where in that mythology, for them, Valhalla is heaven. Mm-hmm. So just by seeing how like the broken pillars and everything like that, I thought it was Valhalla. So
I'm like, I saw that, and that means I get at least. This is now worlds of enemy types that I'm now going to be getting in these games now. So now, not only am I getting my original of what I was getting, but now I'm getting 2 different planets, additional of enemy types that are going to be on there that I have to face now. And I mean, it's fucking great. That's all I have to say. It's fucking mind blowing.
And then we got the upgraded versions of the weapons. That's
all the weapons.
All the weapons, and now we got new weapons. Now he got a Predator shoulder cannon.
He had a sword
that has different ranges of fire, and then the damn plasma lightsaber sword thing that he has, and how that thing at any given time he could just click and it sets on fire and everything. You're like, dude, I'm like, dude, this shit is about to be wild, and I can't wait.
I am digging that. But yeah, that's about it for Bethesda. So then we'll move on to
Ubisoft.
Well, yeah, I think in between that though, we did see at the end of that day the Devolver showcase.
Of course,
the Devolver Direct, if you will. Now, some people think it's not funny. I love it because they know it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funny because of that.
It's literally turning on Showtime Beyond late at night and catching one of those movies that's on there, but they're like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Right. I just fucking love like the ridiculousness and it's like a cinematic universe, like press conference.
They're having fun with it.
Yeah,
they're having fun with it. So.
And they do show interesting games throughout of it. Like there was this one where you're like a thing of meat and you're just like running around.
Right.
And I'm like, I wish they showed more games.
And who was that they did? It wasn't the. God, who did 12 minutes?
12 minutes, that was on Microsoft stage.
Okay, that's what that was.
Which looked really cool. I love time loop stuff like that. I'm playing a time loop game right now called Outer Wilds. This is on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it's actually really good.
It's really hot. Right? Everybody's talking about it.
Quick question: 12 minutes. Was that the one where you're
in the apartment with the man and the woman, and
you're like trying to figure out like her saving? I guess
that's gonna make me sad.
How to save her life?
That's gonna make me sad.
Dude, I'm gonna have so much fun.
You gotta save her. It's like Groundhog Day.
It's like source code.
Source code.
That was the Jake Gyllenhaal with the train that was gonna blow up.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's literally like that. Like you have like a certain amount of time, then it resets, and you'll die, and then it resets or something. I really just want to see what that game is gonna be.
I'm looking forward to that. So
I can't believe I remember that movie.
Z cut. But we can move on to Ubisoft now.
Ubisoft.
And I have high hopes for Ubi because there's it was a tale of two Ubis. There is big company always talking about the yearly stuff, live game service, Ubi, Just Dance, Ubisoft. But then sometimes they get into that weird shit and they do weird stuff because they just love making games, and they do Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle because who the fuck thought that was gonna be good, and it ended up being great, right? And like I want to see if crazy Uncle Eves Gamon was gonna talk about Beyond Good and Evil or something, right? So I had hopes that maybe, just maybe, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey is really good, something maybe they'll do. But we get like Rainbow Six updates, and we get Division updates,
and then we have the Rainbow Six
quarantine, which appears to be some sort of
expansion.
No, it's literally
No, it's not an expansion.
It's not expansion.
No, it's not expansion. It's a standalone game. Remember when they did that thing during Halloween? They had that segment that was like a quarantine. It was a co-op mission. And they had that little segment. It was during Halloween time or something like that, where it was like a quarantine thing. It was only a seasonal thing. So apparently they're taking this and they're throwing it into its own game, because that's why they didn't show anything, because they're developing it.
Huh. I thought that was an expansion.
No.
It's an actual game.
That's a whole ass game?
Whole ass game.
And then we have the Division movie. Yay.
I'm not watching that shit.
I mean, granted, it's gonna be on Netflix, so it'll at least be halfway decent. But
I'm not interested in Division. So
I'm not interested in
about
Division.
it. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And granted, I love Tom Clancy, but I'm just not interested in the Division.
Oh yeah, and then
they
also have another TV show that Ubisoft is dumping with. Last time I checked, when I watch E3, I want games, not TV shows and movies.
that's
right. The Amazon, the Amazon.
There was another show
Where they could have easily did that at
The video game.
Comic-Con.
The video game show that the guy.
It was just like he was in movie trailers and stuff, and
he's making his own. It's about a development studio.
making
Making a game. Anytime you do that stuff at E3, then you're immediately, that's like 2012 shit. That's what you
turn people off.
You know what E3 is about. You know what the crowd is there for. They're there for games. They're not there for
We don't care about
movie trailers. I understand E3 is business and press conferences are for investors.
But you market that some other way. Hell, give me an insert inside the game.
If that
just tell me about
it. If the announcement for like the Division movie and for that was literally anywhere else, like Comic-Con, maybe I'd care more.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
Don't give a shit at E3.
Hey, but it's game
That's
related.
not how you build.
It's
not how you build.
We don't
Exactly.
do game related.
Exactly.
We do games.
We do games. Exactly.
And then they do Just Dance, which somehow is still coming out for the Wii. And I understand that Just Dance is a good part.
You got people
and
we
know they're gonna do it every single year.
But you got
it's
people
still coming for the Wii?
Yes.
You still got people who are coming into the store asking for a Wii system. People are still looking for a Wii system because that's what they have.
You mean the Switch?
No. Wii.
Wii. 2006. Wii.
No, Wii. Like W like nunchuck Wii.
Oh.
Wii.
Oh.
Weegie. Bad.
I must have blocked that out my memory.
So, but at this point, I come to accept that we're going to get a Just Dance sequence from them every year. But then, at least reward me for sitting through that with something interesting.
Like Watch Dogs.
Now, yes, I will give them that. Watch Dogs Legion. Yes. Because people are shit on the first Watch Dogs, which understandably so, because number one didn't
like we talked about, to rewind to the beginning of a replay. This is what we talked about. Stuff coming out when it's not
too soon.
Too soon.
And then it's like way more. And the game is just bland. It's very. And I'm from Chicago, which had my interest because I'm like, oh, okay, I wanted to see how they do this. Because not many games are set there. And Chicago's cool. The game is just bland. Everything is bland.
Tried to play the second one. Didn't care about the character in the second.
Now I will say I actually like the second one. It's a lot more fun to me.
I just really couldn't get it. It just was something. You know what? it became too. God, what's the phrase that I'm looking for? Because AM was so dark.
Oh, this is a little too lighthearted for what you're doing.
Right, because this is like a digital tag. Mm-hmm. You know, where it's like we spray paint our symbol somewhere and everything.
You know what I call it?
You know,
I call it narrative dissonance. And what it is when like you have this main character who is having this good time, they want to go hack a thing, they see a movie early, all this fun little stuff. You wake up in some girl's apartment after a party, but then you're also like murdering dudes, but that's not what the character does, but that's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing, and you don't get that because Pierce, I understood with him, and it's like he has this dark thing. It made Dead Sec seem very underground.
Yeah.
Dead Sec and 2 just
it's just some weird punk rock thing that teens like to do.
People run around with Dead Mouse mask on, and it's like,
which I mean, I just kind of find I think the tone was refreshing versus the other one, but I think the gameplay itself was just better and more fun.
That's what it was.
They
solidified their gameplay.
And it sucks. I will say, like, the main character's motivations is that he was like a subject of like profiling, so they wanted to bring kind of like a race thing into it, but it didn't really hit that tone. So
now, what I do love about Legion is it's I'm not making my own character. Mm-hmm. But I am creating my own
army
organization
at
that point in time.
Old ladies everywhere.
Right. So
old ladies.
So I can go through and literally go and say, like I said, I'm playing females. I can now create a whole Watch Dogs game and go through as a femme fatale at that point. And now we have permadeath.
Yes.
So I get to care about.
So there is permadeath in this.
Oh yeah, when they're gone, they're gone, and then when they die, the story changes. There's apparently like a ton of different endings, and the story will change based upon who you've recruited, what kind of missions you put them on, and how and when they die. I don't know what kind of game system they built around this.
They did it like Omnicron.
I don't know what that is. That's a mad-ass game.
Omnicron was a game that was on. I played it on Dreamcast, and you were a soul that was hopping into the bodies of other people.
You remember that? I remember that.
Yeah. You were
I
hopping into the soul of other people. So when you would hop into somebody else's body, you would get their stats based on like fighting abilities or intelligence and everything. And it was a story that you were going through, but you were literally a soul that was hopping through people's body throughout the city. And you would get different stats, and then you would have somebody and everything. And then if that person got killed or knocked out, well, your soul had to go in. You had to go and find a new body to transfer into.
Yeah,
and it was an amazing game.
That's wild.
It was a great game. So they built it on the system like that, but instead this time you are now gathering people into that thing. So like with that, you care about who you have.
I'll give it to them. They showed, first of all, they got scored points over Bethesda for showing me gameplay of a new game.
Oh my god! And the gameplay looked right.
Yes,
the gameplay looked
great.
The
world looks good. It's in a further along future. So there's like interesting looking stuff going on. It's in London. Brexit has already happened. And so,
So I was really when they showed it, I was sitting there when it was starting. I was
old lady tasing people.
Right, and I was like, here we go with another Watch Dogs. I wasn't excited about it. Me and then then here's this character that I don't really like their design. Too. When I saw the character design, I'm like, this is about to be the main character that I play as. And then they did the hop thing for that, and I was like.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second, we're doing what now?
The only thing that ruined it for me is because it did leak ahead of time. So the whole premise leaked. Not just the game title, not a screenshot. The entire what this game is leaked. And I'm like, God damn it, this would be really cool if I just knew about it there at E3. But it still stands. It's still really
question.
Cool.
So this is. You can use like random people.
This is literally everybody.
You recruit
all the NPCs.
You recruit. You go around and when you do the phone thing, and since everybody's in the system, you're scanning the person, and then it shows you, like, say somebody has great hacking skills, somebody has great assassination, killing skills.
Somebody can do a specific thing.
So then you go to that person and you say, hey, the mission starts of you trying to recruit that person. So that's you recruiting that person, of tracking them down if they're in trouble or whatever, helping them out. Yeah. Then you get the person, then you play their origin story that leads them to why they'll help you in your mission.
That is
every person,
just random person,
fully voice acted everything. The only
entire city.
Only thing I do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying entire city. That was it.
The only thing I hear about it is just that the NPCs, because it's all NPCs, nobody looks especially graphically amazing. They look good, but not like, they're like, ooh, this is holy crap, that's great. But I don't expect that of something like that anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's still it's good enough for you to go for not take away from the game.
Right, but the scale of the game, I'm not looking for fantastic looking. Give me a decent looking person, make it look like it belongs on the current gen system, and I'm good. I don't need anything. I don't have to have
they gotta be pretty.
Right.
It was like the explanation I heard from like that mission structure was like you get to choose like how you're gonna motivate this person to join.
Yep.
And you do it more than one mission, but for E3 they had it done in one mission. And I guess you see a street performer, but then to get to that street performer you gotta help their girlfriend, because you go, so you can see they have like dinner with their girlfriend, so you go follow them for dinner, and then you find that the girlfriend is being blackmailed. So then if you help the girlfriend, then you can help him, and it's not just the girlfriend's like, you know, like I said, like 78 or some shit, and then the street performer's like 19, but they're actually in love because it's actually sugar mama and sugar daddy relationships also.
But even pause right there. Even think about the fact on. What if you follow this person through this mission, you do all this stuff, and you still don't recruit them?
Yeah, then the story changes.
Think of the story of that when you're trying to, because it's a thing.
Or they die.
Or they get killed in the process of you trying to get them and everything. So think of all the possibilities that you actually get.
Like
I'm excited about this game.
I'm curious to see how they do this and if they whiff it. Just because, what if with all those different things going on and all those NPCs, it's gotta feel samey at some point. It's gotta get repetitive.
I gotta feel like I'm coming across the same person throughout the city and everything.
How do you keep that going, but have it still feel unique for everybody to make you feel like you still want their unique story?
You know what? I might give them the benefit of the doubt on that, because you have to remember they put their own servers into that game, even for like multiplayer and stuff. Who knows how often that game will get updated? That game could get updated to somebody else getting into the game. You cut it off and go into the next day, and then you're getting newer people that have been cycled through and everything.
This has me more interested in any other Watch Dogs ever has.
Yes, that is a definite.
I'm telling you, army of old ladies, army of old maids just running around. The golden hackers.
Femme fatales.
I'm on board with the story and how it presents, you know, and being able to play with anybody and like hack with anybody. Only thing I ask for is for the combat to be not as stiff and the combat to be better. And please fix the driving, because in all 3 games, the driving has been fucking atrocious.
Well, there only been 2 games. Driving I found in 2 to be better than 1, but not great. Not great.
Driving, like if it could drive like Grand Theft Auto minus Grand Theft Auto's jank. minus Grand Theft Auto's jank.
Because trying to fight in that game is the worst.
Now, I'm about to say, because and then I see what they tried to do with 2, and like they gave you the bolo and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You had the bolo, and it's like the 2 8-balls and stuff like that. Like, I see what they tried to do, but it's trash. It's like it was trash.
What was his weapon? Like a yo-yo or
it's a bolo.
Yeah,
he had a bolo.
Way better than 1.
A bolo. I mean, it was better than 1, but still. Where it was
it's a string with a ball attached.
It's like a really intensely tight string that'll have 2 balls on the end. You can throw it, and they wrap around. You mainly supposed to like throw it around their legs, so it causes them to trip over and stuff like that.
But I mean, you know, with
a
couple of
Batman has these.
Yeah, a couple of things though. When they take a break from a game, they seem to come back better.
Yeah, they really learned from the last game. They really
and we haven't seen a Watch Dogs game because we've gotten the last 2
Creed back there.
We got the last two Assassin's Creeds. We got Origins and we got Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Which then, when they took a break from that, we got
entirely
different feel of a game.
They don't bring it back unless they have a reason to.
So then they bring this one back. We've taken a break from Watch Dogs. They put that time into it, so it's been 2 years for that. And now we have this one that's going to be coming. And you know, and when they've been coming out with games, they put something in there that is better than the last one. So they do it each time that it's like, okay, it's more interesting than the last time you did it.
Like I said, they have my attention with that. But then, you know, like in Ubisoft fashion, they went to some shit that no one cares about. They went to, and again, like I said, for people who are currently playing those games, and yes, you need to support your lives. You got live services going. You've got to come with announcements for those because people are playing those. Like Siege is a huge game for them. I understand that.
But that mobile game.
Nobody cares about the mobile game. You know, Division, that just came out. You've got to hit it with expansions, and it came out a better game than Anthem or Division's 1.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to come with information for that. That's fine. But come with something else that is also interesting, like new, you know, which they didn't do. They didn't bring the hype. There was no, oh my god, this is an amazing moment. Everything that Ubisoft showed could have been in Into the Direct. Didn't need to be a press conference for any of it, not one. And then the one thing that was really interesting that they showed at the end for the makers of Assassin's freaking Creed Odyssey, your other biggest gods and monsters. This game is coming out in fucking February, and you only showed 20 seconds of in-engine.
What is Gods and Monsters?
I don't fucking know. Maybe we would know if they fucking showed more of it at the goddamn press conference.
And that game is probably going to be...
I'm just a little upset.
That game's going to
I was upset too. I'm like, what is this?
That game is going to be probably
cool.
so much fun.
I mean,
It's probably going to be so much fun.
We sure as shit don't know, dude. It's coming out for Switch as well. We sure as shit don't know because they only showed 2 seconds of it. You don't even know what the fuck it is because they showed that much of it. I don't know if you
They
remember
said
that.
the gods turned to you.
I watched it.
You know, I'm like, what the hell, man? Show me the one thing you've got that's fascinating, and it's in the engine. You treated it as if this game was like far away. It's February. You've got a bunch of this game to show off.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Reggie, what's wrong with you? It's ridiculous, man. So that's why, like, they get a fucking D. You know, just like Bethesda got a D. Because they didn't show anything else. You know, they just showed the same stuff, and you gotta give more than that. I can't even think of anything else they showed. I think that was about it.
That was it.
You be sure nothing.
There was a mobile game.
I said fuck them mobile games. This is the Fuck Them Mobile Games podcast. Are you casting a spell on me, or are you trying to figure out what it is?
The open world.
The open world. Oh,
John
Ghost
Bernthal.
Recon. Ghost Recon. I was going to say Wildlands.
No,
because
you're talking about Gods and Monsters?
No, before after that. Before that. Actually.
Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon. What's it called? Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Breakpoint.
Not Wildlands.
The more they talk about it, the more I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I didn't care about Wildlands.
Neither
Me
did I.
neither. Because
I didn't know it came out.
Because they're Ubisoftizing the games I like. You know, they're taking it. They took Ghost Recon, which is a fascinating tactical shooter, and then you do nice, cool linear levels, and now you turn that shit into yet another open world game.
Okay, so
same as all their other open world games.
So you wasted your time by creating Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and you mean to tell me that y'all couldn't have just put John Bernthal in a Splinter Cell game?
Well, I'm afraid to see what a Splinter Cell game would look like from them because I feel like it would
It'd be
not-
open world. It'd be
called like
Metal
Ghost-
Gear.
Splinter
Metal
Cell
Gear.
Open Nation or some shit, and it's just gonna be this.
It'd be Metal Gear.
Yeah, and nobody likes that shit.
It would be Metal Gear.
You know, and you know, I love John Bernthal. His dog was absolutely adorable, but fuck all that shit because it's the C3. The dog ain't bringing hype. The dog is bringing cute, and cute is fine, but I need hype.
He said the dog.
The dog
is bringing cute.
It brought cute, man.
It was obedient.
It's like that was
That was a good dog. He was just sitting there, just
doing his thing.
That dog.
That dog was chilling the whole time.
I'm gonna be a dog. I'm gonna sit my ass right the hell here, like he told me.
That was his dog. I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, no. But that's about it. So it'll be some getting the shit together. And again, I also think it's still a thing of they've got shit to they don't have anything to share. They're getting shit ready for the next generation. Beyond Good and Evil, that is a next gen fucking
That's a next gen.
Yeah.
We're not gonna see that.
Now that I know how close the next gen is, it's a next gen fucking game. So you know, but you know,
I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that they actually really didn't put Cyberpunk into the next gen because it seemed like
I have a feel like it's either gonna be one of those like it's now enhanced for, but it's gonna get back to compatible anyway. So it's probably gonna be enhanced for those systems.
I see it. I see that happening.
But you know, so then let me just hear a story because things are getting real low, big deal. Like things are getting bad. I'm just like. My hope is waning for this E3 to have
Sounds
any
getting real low, big guy.
You know, my hope is waning for this E3 to be anything interesting. I'm like, this could be one of the go down as one of the most uninteresting E3s in history. I'm just like, what is going on? There's no hype. I haven't, you know. And then, first on a smaller thing, kind of funny. You know, they do their influencer thing on YouTube and everything, and they do their showcase because Sony isn't doing PSX to host indie games. And they're like, Sony has to do this. And Sony wasn't at E3, and so they're like, we can fill that space. And they did their quick 45-minute showcase showing more interesting indie games in that space than I saw the entire E3 before that. Like, I was like, there are so many games in that bitch. There's no less than like 20 games that at least seemed fascinating or interesting, you know, like super liminal with the perspectives that change and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Rawman and
Rawman
and Lucifer Within Us looks really cool. That's the one that was like that story.
Shit,
and you're going through the timeline of it.
Naked ass chefs.
Rawman. Naked chefs.
Naked chefs. Even in between.
Soup on each other.
With that they did give me my 15 minutes of. They gave me 15 minutes of control and gameplay.
Who showed Control?
Yeah, it was you know when they were doing the segments.
In between. I didn't see the in between.
They did the standalone for 15 minutes of Control.
Yeah, Control is the one thing they could have put on the press conference to show off. That's a big game.
And it comes out. It's right around the corner.
Oh, is it?
The 27th of August.
Holy
if I'm not
shit,
mistaken.
that's really close. I didn't even know.
Yep, it's right. It's the 27th of August, if I'm not mistaken, and it's literally right there around the corner. So,
oh man, that sucks. I've been given the in-office smile that you get from your coworker. It's early. I don't want to smile, but. You don't have to smile. Don't force it. Nobody wants to be here.
I get that all the time.
Nobody wants to be here. Oh my god. Anyway, Control has Metroidvania and it's Remedy, so I know it's gonna have a great story.
You get powers that will unlock other stuff that allows you to get to other stuff and everything. But they said it is very streamlined. I'm going through like playing Quantum Break and everything.
I didn't see that bit, so I'm gonna have to check that out. But I know what you're talking about.
You gotta see the game. Yeah, I saw the gameplay after the fact.
Dope, but I didn't see that bit though.
Yeah, watch it. Definitely go back and watch it.
And again, the story looks really. And then you find out.
Oh, dude, I'm super into the story.
You find out what happens throughout the house. Like you go, and then there's like when you go, you find out different stuff. You meet different people to tell you stuff about what's going on in there. And
Dear Diary, my first day at work was
pure fresh hell.
And it's this story where we got a dimension break pretty much.
I just imagine it being cool. a cross between something like Alan Wake and like Warehouse 13. You ever seen Warehouse 13?
And it looks so good, and I'm like, and I love anything where you got psychic abilities.
Oh yeah, Remedy shit.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm into it. I'm definitely.
So I'm all on board for that.
But going from the showcase, which showed a ton of games, I love the way they did it too because it went fast. And there was a lot of games, but they at least spent enough time giving each game a quick, description so you know what the hell you're looking at, and it's not just a game and a title. And what the hell is this?
And they put their own brand of sense of humor to it.
Yeah, because anybody who watches,
very entertaining.
Like I'm a huge kind of funny fan. So like, that's all these inside jokes that they put in there and shit. Like Tim Geddes had a fucked up haircut for a couple weeks, and he had to sit like on the other side of the table because he didn't want them to see the haircut instead of filming from the supercuts. And it's like they betrayed him. I'm like, is that standard? Can they do that? They can do that. His haircut was fine. But he had to go somewhere else and have him fix it. But besides, like moving on from that, fucking Square. Let me tell y'all something.
Oh, man.
No, I know everybody is like, oh man, the Final Fantasy VII remake. And is that how that's supposed to?
Hey man, I can't go that high, okay?
I can't buy. I
can't go that high.
I can't buy that one.
We know you've all been waiting 15 years for this Final Fantasy VII remake. Let's do the buttons. Do it on the xylophone.
We almost lost our audio, guys.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
If it sounds like that, he still is going to be the best looking guy there.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Off the rails, everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Oh, my sides.
Oh, no, I'm crying. Oh, my God.
That's what we get out the
Oh, my God. I'm gonna take out this. I'm gonna take out just this moment and put this bitch on, like, Facebook. That's just anyway. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is how you start a press conference, people.
What the fuck was that?
It was the best looking guy there.
This is how you start a. This is. Just come out of it. Well, you're ready, everybody. Everybody would be so pissed. That's the music. Oh, fuck, everybody. We are fucked. Turn it off.
It's just hand-drawn clown just slashing
Oh my God.
It's the same dude down his basement. No, Steve, it's the same dude down in his basement that did the Batman for
Oh my God.
I've been waiting for this moment my whole
I've been waiting for this moment.
I haven't done a soundtrack since '96.
Okay, let me get it. Let me get it back. Let me get it back.
Let's bring it back. Let's put this train back on the tracks.
Square opens with Final Fantasy VII. This is how you fucking do a press conference. You start with the hype. You start with something people may already know, haven't seen in a while. Is this game gonna look good? We heard development was trouble. We know Square don't know how to make games. Okay,
They don't.
and literally after 12, shit goes off the rails. Name of the show. But shit went off the rails. They don't know how to, like, the way they structured their company and the way they developed their projects. The organization was just fucked. Okay, you've got this fabulous Nova Chrysalis, which is supposed to be Final Fantasy 13, and then Final Fantasy Versus 13. All of that gets fucked.
That shit got fucked because you never got the you never got that verse.
Versus became 15.
I know, but you never got what.
And then the actual game, the whole thing got fucked. The organization was fucked, and then Dragon Quest was hampering down that on the NX side, so that was a problem.
The only thing that I can say that they actually did anything on that they piggybacked on was what? Did they have something to do with Tomb Raider?
No.
Did they have
all they do is publish Tomb Raider. They don't actually develop it. That's Crystal Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing they have a hand in themselves has been fucked for 10 years. Okay, so I'm just like
14, you never got.
No, 14 was fucked in the first place. Then they had to go back. First of all, there's a great documentary on a YouTube channel called No Clip about 14 and how it became Realm Reborn. Really good. I just recommend watching that.
What's it called?
The channel's called No Clip. They do a lot of good documentaries.
Yeah, it was how that one became.
I also really recommend one straight from Sony called Raising Kratos about how they did God of War. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about.
This shit made me cry. So. Back to the story. They went from.
No, don't do it. Don't do that. No.
they fuck up. Then 13 comes out and people aren't happy with it. The thing is all linear and people didn't care for it. And then, some people like it. Combat.
It had great
JD loves
it. It had great
JD
combat.
loves it. Bird loves it.
But it was just that you went through. You literally went through 3 discs of the game. doing this.
Straight line.
Point A to point B.
Yeah.
You get to the fourth disc, they open up the world to you, but it's like, I'm on the last disc, the game's about to be over with.
You know,
Right.
and then they tease Versus, which is a haggard development cycle. Nothing but problems. Problems with the tech. Problems with the internal issues. We don't hear anything from it for forever. Then in between all that, they announce Kingdom Hearts 3. Nothing but issues. And so then I feel like doing 13 and Versus 13 and 14 and then Realm Reborn, trying to get that on track, and then turning from 13 into 15 and getting Kingdom Hearts done. All of that is like a sewer pipe backing up, and it all just had all these issues. And then you finally do your proper 15 reveal. You do a press conference announcing you're doing a release date.
Pissed me off.
And then once again, the release date gets delayed to another date. And then when the game comes out, here's the real kick in the head. It's not even fucking finished. You don't even get the full game. You don't get all the features. Now you have the Royale Edition, which is basically apparently like a whole different animal versus vanilla. But now it's complete, and then the DLC gets canceled.
Because if you bought the DLC version of it, then you got like the actual what the game was.
All it was supposed to be. And then all the planned DLC they had going on is not even coming out. And all of this to say, Square Enix has never given me any hope after Final Fantasy XII that they know how to make video games anymore. So when they said they're doing a Final Fantasy VII remake, I'm like, great, let's see if this turns out to be a real game, and then let's see if it's actually good.
So it's gonna get pushed back to hell. Watch. I can see it.
The fact that they even have something to show now is impressive to me. So I've been trying not to be excited, no hype going into it whatsoever. Then they fucking show it, and it's fucking gorgeous. And I'm like, oh.
And I feel, because it seemed like they finally took one of the games I freaking love, even in the combat. Crisis Core, and added that to like the skin of what 15 was.
I hear it's
that in there,
and it's even like better.
I remember Crisis Core,
and it's even better than like 15, just because it gives people who remember turn-based combat something.
Then you have the turn-based in there as well. Too.
Yeah,
but
and then the action is that, and the action seems way more like.
It means the action seems so much more like when it's like, okay, you have your attack button, you have your block, versus that when I was playing, playing 15 to me was like playing, and don't get me wrong, I'm not crapping on anybody's parade who wants to play. It's like Xenoblade.
Very, it's action based.
You sit there and I'm watching the shit happen as opposed to me actually really
feeling engaged in it.
Exactly. This I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay.
Oh, I hope they release that.
Now I feel like I'm doing something. In this game.
Square tends to release demos lately of this kind of stuff, and I'm hoping they release that by me run demo. I really do.
That'd be nice.
And they have a date. Now, again, the date don't mean shit.
They don't mean shit.
They haven't earned me trusting when this game's coming out.
It'll be summertime of next year.
But it's cool that they showed it, and it's cool that people who've all played it love it. And I'm even cool with being just Midgar for the first game. Because what people aren't understanding is the scale is different. It's not. You remember playing through Midgar for a couple of hours in the original game.
We're getting like all of the stuff that was happening.
This is a full. This is how they wanted it to be. So this is a much larger version of that. Every interaction is twice as deep. They're adding things to flesh out the story and the characters. Every little moment that may have been a sentence or two is now going to be this whole cinematic thing. You know what I mean? The boss fights are going to be longer. Everything's going to be bigger to scale. Our production person would like to say something?
I usually don't want to chime in, but will Cloud and Drag be longer?
I don't know. That's going to be real interesting to see.
Shit.
But they did say Cloud and Drag is.
It's going to be in there.
It's going to be in.
It's in there.
I can't.
So,
I
see that face?
Really do want to see.
He got a pretty face. He gonna
be the best.
He's gonna pull it
I don't know
off.
how that's gonna work, but
He's gonna pull it off.
It's gonna be awesome. And like I said, like everything's gonna feel. That's gonna be a real uncomfortable.
And that was just something. It was, going back to like I was saying, and I said this before when we talked about this game before. I was saying, please let materia be a thing, because this is Final Fantasy VII.
And
let materia be a thing, and then I love that they have like
it's
the equipment in there, and I was like,
yes.
And he's running. You see like and it's like, yes, yeah. It's just a cat. So you see that it's on there, and you can see what everybody's materia is, where it and what it's equipped to.
Yeah, like seeing how this game looks, and then like shot for shot comparing it with the original. Of course, the first game is only gonna be Midgard because they're doing this huge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be. They said this first one is gonna be the length of a full Final Fantasy game, just the city, just Midgard. And it's going to be 2 Blu-ray discs. It's going to be 100 gigs.
We're probably going to get probably 3 versions of this because they could easily, if they do that, they can squeeze 3 versions.
Yeah, we're gonna
this
get 3
game
sets
out of that whole thing.
Where the way I look at it, yeah, the first 2, which we getting in March supposedly, yeah, that's just going to be Midgard, and they're going to expand on Midgard and just everything.
Yes, like what's gonna have to happen is the next one, like episode 2, it's gonna have to be next gen.
And think about all the characters that you even meet in there.
Yeah,
you're going to their regions now, so you have all of their regions and everybody that you're coming across now. You really are gonna get a sense of these people now because that's the one thing you never really got. There was the lore through that game and everything, but
you get like a shitty world map because it's PS1 and
right.
You get to little.
Now you get a sense of each individual character because now they're going to be focal points on that.
Absolutely. So, and that's the thing. And I would rather see that done on a next gen system that can handle rendering and streaming in a huge world. SSDs will make it where loading isn't really that much of a thing. You can get these fully realized villages and stuff like that. Versus what we got out of 15, and they had technical limitations, so 15 wasn't even what it was supposed to be. I feel like my hope is getting brighter. That now that we've passed all of these really long projects that have finally gotten done and out, they can hit the reset button on their development cycle, and I think 7 is that start of them getting their shit together.
I like the optimism.
They're doing it like RE2 Remake did it, where it's the same story, but there's more in there. There's more in it, you know what I mean?
Boy, did they know how to do it with that one.
Yeah, like Capcom, they were like, they have the old original developers. They have New Blood who used to play those games. FF7 Remake is the same kind of team. They have the original director. They have guys who worked on the original. Then they have new guys who played the original. With passion to really make a good game.
I was gonna say this is a passion project. This is something that they are not just putting out there. This is something that you can really see that
exactly.
This is what we wanted to play, and this is what our passion is, and we want to really give something that is out there to you.
I love how honest they are about. Hey, we haven't even started to think about the next one yet because we really want to make this work. That the introduction. This has to be good.
And I feel good about that too because what as massive as this game is going to be, this is going to be a big slice of cake.
Yeah.
That. It gives me time to play. It gives me time to actually delve into this since they're not saying like, oh, we're started on the next one. We got that. That gives me time to say, okay, I can get through this and everything. And now they're like, oh, hey.
By the time that's out and you're done, it's put away and you're ready. And, I feel like, I think I just lost my train of thought. No, Blast Carn started. Something about Final Fantasy and the next one and something. I don't know. It's gone. It's never coming back.
Steven's gone senile.
It'll come back.
It is never coming
It'll
back.
come back.
Must not be that important. Clearly, but I'm really excited for it. Okay, I remember what I was thinking. Anybody who was complaining about how they're not going to get the game they want because you're only getting Midgard, then you really don't want a good Final Fantasy remake because you know how long it took to get through the first one. You understand current technology. If you really just wanted the whole game on one disc, you're going to be losing a shit ton of content, a shit ton of story points, and a shit ton of stuff that you wanted to see. But this shit isn't magic. You got to fit that shit on the disc. So this is how it has to be.
And if you're that upset about it,
just wait from the
download for $14.99 Final Fantasy Remastered and play that.
Play that shit then. But I know they said some shit in between in that conference, but let me just get it out of the way right now. Now we've done remake. Everybody's excited for it.
Real quick, last thing before I let you get that out.
Sure.
My take is after we completely completely explore through Midgard, how long will each one be after? Because before they fully broke it down at the conference, everybody's first thought was like, okay, the first two will just be this one, and then the next ones will just be this two, and then the final one will just be this three. But now, after they've broke it down about how it's going to be,
like I said, this is going to be coming out as a Final Fantasy game itself.
Because the way I think, I'm gonna just say it in volumes. The way I think volume 1 ends when you actually leave Midgard.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too.
So, but once we get to the second part, where is that gonna?
Where in that? Who knows? Because the second part's gonna be open world probably.
So
it's probably gonna be open world. Yeah.
Oh, I know the second part is gonna be open world.
You know,
that I know.
That's when you'll start meeting people. I mean, you got a lot.
Because I know
Vincent.
Because I know once you get
13.
Because I know once you get into the second part, that's when you'll meet 13.
13, you meet Vincent, you meet everyone.
I have
Kate.
I do have a theory that they don't know. They're not thinking about the next one yet. They probably haven't even really delved into what the next gen systems are capable of. They don't know how many
because it's going to be on next. It's going to
be on next gen, and they don't know how many episodes they're going to have to make to complete this story. It may very well be the next one. The next episode could be the final episode if they can get everything to fit all together like that. Because we don't know what these next systems can do.
And like what I was going to, you're looking. See, you're still going into the process of what you know of Final Fantasy. They're giving us a full game of Midgard. It's gonna be, it's gonna be interactions we have never seen. So
I know
you have to scale into when you go into the next one to have all of that. We might get backstories for the characters.
Yeah, people may be in a different order.
Yeah, you get it.
It's like how they're doing Sephiroth. They're showing him like in front of Cloud because we all know who it is already at this point. So
but see, in the back of your mind, but this is a thing where you're getting a chance to delve into them because this is a deeper thing. We always wanted to know what's more of an interaction with them. We get pieces of it and everything. We don't know the full scale of stuff and everything. So now we can get backstories and stuff. We can find out more about a relationship between all of the characters and
Tifa and those little
everything.
I wonder if they're gonna do those like flashbacks when they were like little and talking.
Right. So you might. There is no telling what scale of what you're gonna go into.
When they blow that, when Shinra blows that plate and it kills all the people, that's gonna be real fucking sad. That's gonna be real. That's gonna be real sad. Oh god, the part gets obliterated. That's gonna be some sad shit. It's gonna be amazing to look at, probably.
That's gonna be great to look at.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, the producer.
It's gonna look like Terminator.
Boom! The skeleton. Oh my god. But moving on from. Did you have anything else to say about Cyber Remake, Dave? Before we move on.
It's good. Brought it back.
All right, Steve. Go ahead and get it out now. All right. Go ahead and get it out now.
Floor's yours, buddy.
I know.
Delayed. God damn, I'm so fucking pumped. Oh my god, they did it. They did it. After fucking years, you can also see my reaction on youtube.com/SFXXPLAY. When they announced this, I lost my fucking mind and cried. Because, here's the thing. I understand people fucking love 7. 7's great. People say it's the best one. They love it's their favorite. It wasn't my first Final Fantasy. Mine was Final Fantasy 8. That's when I first saw the lies that were those pre-rendered FMV commercials making you think that's the game.
Oh, they showed that shit in the theaters when I was going to the movies when I was younger. And seeing Squall hop in that car and driving off and everything. I mean, they showed that in the theater.
So, of course, I was loaded to wanting to get this game. But then when I found out what it really is, I still wanted it. I was like, sweet. And so then my mom brought it home back in '98, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. It is my first ever RPG, so I didn't know what the fuck I was
didn't know
doing.
how to play it,
and it was
right.
way harder than it ever needed to be. Ever needed to be. Never even got a chance to fully beat it. I know how the story goes now, but I don't care. I fucking love it. Like, I love it. I loved it. And all these years later, people are like, it's not that good. What? It's trash. I'm like, huh? It's the worst one. What?
8 was really good.
And then I'm like, no, you're crazy. But then I find that Square is fucking getting over here. Like, outside of what you little blurbs, you get in like Kingdom Hearts, and they change his name and everything. Fucking, we're re-bringing everything to the Switch. This is the ultimate slap in the face. That one Nintendo Direct. We're bringing 7. We're bringing 9. We're bringing 10 and 10 too. We're bringing all this bullshit. You know what we're bringing 12 Zodiac Age. You know what they didn't have? Where the fuck was Final Fantasy VIII, huh? Nobody really cares about it to that point.
I was surprised by that too. Like,
your own fucking game. You want to talk about 15? That game is fucking garbage. But then you want to talk about but you don't want to mention Final Fantasy VIII. Well, the music, the characters' moments. Oh my god. Yes, you can break it. The junction system wants you to fucking break it. It's unfortunate. That part of it is, and it's annoying and it's tedious.
And it was. I had so much fun going around trying to find my Guardian Forces.
The Guardian Forces is fucking sweet. You gotta draw everything from people and steal stuff. And if your party changes so much that you gotta fucking like change the junctions to get all of your HP and everything the right person. Which sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen because the story separates.
Because then it separates them, and then you're like, he had all my stuff.
You got floating battle schools in the air and shit. Though that's fucking badass.
You had what was it? The Ragnarok shit that you
your fucking Balam Garden turns into a fucking. But anyway, I digress. Like the fact of the matter is, they been snubbing this game for years. All the fans have been snubbing it for years, and I'm like, where the fuck is the respect, right? But now,
they gave the respect because it's remastered.
Fucking remastered on the Nintendo Switch and wherever else. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I know it's coming to the Switch. So now you get a full You get the full post Nintendo collection before you get to like 13 in one place. You get 8. Okay, it gets the recognition it deserves for being a good game. Okay, it doesn't hit the notes that people want it to hit like 7, but I feel like even the way I'm biased for 8, I think people are biased for 7 because it was their first Final Fantasy, or the first time they played one on a PlayStation system. I think that's a lot of it. If 8 was the first one, and then 7 came after, then they made a different story.
That was the first one that I actually played and everything, and it just the weapons caught me. Those gunblades were
the gunblades.
Sweet.
When I first saw the gunblades, I was just there. I was like, I want this game just because of the weapons.
I needed a moment to vent and to my frustration. And it's a great fucking game, and I'm excited because it's there. And I've seen so much of this game played already, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go play it again on the Switch. I don't care how much they charge for it, unless it's 60, then they can go fuck themselves. Which it'll be in line with the rest of them.
So I agree with Steve on that last tidbit about how he's biased towards 8 because 8 was his first one. That's how I feel about 7. 7 was the first RPG that I ever played. And
I don't count Zelda.
So like to me, I'm like ride or die for 7. I didn't play 8 because I played Chrono Cross, and then I played Legend of Dragoon. So like 8 and 9. When people ask me about 8 and 9, I just be like, huh? What?
9 was my first one.
And 9 is really good.
9 is
I didn't appreciate 9 at the time.
With the Super Saiyan 4 transformation?
Yeah. Trance.
Ain't 9 the one that had the little warlock dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
The black mage.
Cute
little black
he's
kind of sucks.
Man, he's so
the trans system sucks just because it's random and you can't control it.
Yeah, it's random.
It's not like Limit Break or Overdrive or anything like that.
I'm gonna admit something. I had a game chart.
So I had trans all the time. Yeah. I had a game chart too. You know what it did?
So I got this.
You know what a game chart did for me? Corrupted my game save up, and I got all my shit fucked. And I'm like, well, there goes that one.
You can turn it on your Switch. You can turn it all on your Switch.
See.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So, but going into that, probably nobody really cares about this and everything. And I can honestly say it wasn't a big hit for me and everything. Mm-hmm. But I am going to go into it. I'm going to play Last Remnant. Because I never finished
Mag.
it. I never finished
That game is trash.
It was trash.
I can't believe they're bringing that shit back.
It was. It was trash.
You know what it was? You know where it falls in at? It falls in that weird ass. Let's bring RPGs to the West. We are Xbox 360
So
needs them.
I am going to, and
Innocent Discovery, Last Remnant, Blue Dragon. There was another one in
Blue
there.
Dragon was good.
Yeah.
I like
Blue Dragon was alright.
Blue Dragon was alright. It was bland. It was
Remnant.
baby's first RPG.
But Last Remnant, yes, I am going to go back and I'm going to try and play that, and they're not asking that much for it. So
They shouldn't ask anything for it.
So
It shouldn't be come out of here.
so it was very surprising. I was like, oh shit, they are bringing that
But
back.
let's move. We have so much more to get through. This will be a long one. But we'll get off of that. But yeah, Square had a strong showing. They had a couple of mobile things, but it looked interesting. Realm Reborn's content looks really cool because they're expanding on, and a really cool game as it is. Now I'm just starting 14, so I'm probably never even gonna see that shit. Any of the late game. But they kept hitting with. If it wasn't like extremely hype, it was at least baseline fascinating.
It was something that somebody that you were at least looking forward to.
I think they showed Crystal Chronicles there first before the Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's really interesting.
I forgot about that.
A lot of cool things are coming out of Square's conference.
They have Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's coming out for mobile. But I
mean, that's actually cool though. That's a mobile game.
It looks good.
It's a mobile game. You didn't hang on it too long, and it's tactics, so it's actually interesting for people to want to get into this. Not some more shit.
And I love Tactics. I love Final Fantasy Tactics, so I'm definitely picking that shit up.
Did they announce anything like new IP? I can't remember.
Oh, they did.
What did they announce?
They did Dragon Quest 2.
Dragon Quest 11.
Dragon Quest 11. But then Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Oh, Builders 2.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Ow!
Yeah, producer help.
Oninaki.
Oninaki.
Yep,
Shit looks
that
cool.
was it.
It looks
That
like
was the
more
demo.
Masa Demon Blade kind of looking stuff. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, and then they also, they finally showed Avengers at the end of
And
Square.
they showed Avengers.
They showed Avengers.
I think that sucked. Personally, just not the game, but the way it was presented.
They didn't really give you anything. They gave you a this is where the story's gonna go.
Yeah, it was a tone piece.
They
was clips of, it was tiny 20-second little bits of gameplay in there.
That wasn't even 20 seconds. It literally was I flip and do this.
It was like a quick flash.
Yeah,
and then they did like the Black Widow thing, which looked like a quick time event where she's there with
You're fighting.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, you're a boss fight. You're fighting Taskmaster. You jump on them, and then you both eventually land, and then you fight them.
You start fighting.
Yeah, you actually fight.
They apparently, from what I hear, because the gameplay demo a lot of people liked, and what I hear was like, why didn't they show this at the press conference? This would have made people way happier, and it would have been way more interesting, and it would have given people an idea of what this game is.
Because they wanted to
that's
keep
what I
it
kept hearing,
secret
too.
for E3 only.
A lot of people didn't know even if this is going to be a traditional story game or a live service game or anything. And when I hear live service game, my eyes roll in the back of my head because usually playing it alone sucks shit because they don't think about story, they think about multiplayer. And
They think about how they can make money, what they can give, what they can offer for stuff and everything. And like, oh, here's some new skins. You pay $4.99 for this. And, do I have to pay $30 to get the next piece for it?
I like that they went ahead and got out the way. Well, first of all, you talked about post-launch content when no one knows what the game is. I'm like, that's weird. That's really weird. But at least it's free. Like the content's free. They said there will be microtransactions, but I bet it's all cosmetic. I bet, I want to get my Iron Man to look like this. Yeah. So I'm gonna
that's what I think it is.
It's like, I get to do this because
I'm not paying for that shit.
I think it's just
you say that now. That's how you're really into the game, and you're like, I really want that skin. That makes my dude look like fucking Spawn or something.
See,
and it's
you
like,
gonna you gonna say that, and you gonna be like, damn, they got Captain America Hydra on there. Let me buy that fucking skin.
And I'm not
with
going
the black and the.
And I'm not going front either. I see anything pertaining to Doom in that game, I'm buying it.
You probably will. No, because I was very confused at first because I was really wanting to be into it. I like the premise that they're going with of the story of Captain America dies and it's this whole original story. Maybe because you can play with him.
Because he's a playable character.
You want me to mechanics and you can't play with him?
Right.
I mean, granted, there is a separate co-op mission area, so
But
you
I
may
don't
be able to
think.
do
But
it
I
there.
honestly don't think that they're going to say he's killed off. And then
That's gonna- he may
well,
just
and then it was like some time.
5 years.
They don't know what that technology did because apparently, Tony's like, "Hey, let's use this shit," and
as Tony does.
and for all we know, Cap could have got sucked into a dimension.
Yeah.
And they need to bring, and then they'd be like, "Oh shit, we can bring him back."
Like it's
So-
interesting. Like I just want to know what the hell the game is.
Right.
And after the fact, I watched a lot of stuff about E3 this week. So I watched interviews and things of that, and then I pieced together and I figured it out that yes, you have a traditional single player set piece, kind of really cool to look at story where you go through the different characters during at different points in time, and then I guess they'll have some kind of integrated hub where you will go off and you'll do co-op missions, and they'll feel a lot more like a really polished Ultimate Alliance.
Right.
And you're doing your thing, and then you're getting extra characters, and I guess you can earn stuff that will then you can put back into the campaign. I guess instead of everything being all separated modes, everything kind of feeds into each other.
Yeah, but at least it's not a thing where I'm not playing the game and somebody just comes in
And fucks up. Well,
like,
yeah.
I was trying to play this for myself.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't hate what I saw. I thought it looked cool. I wish there was more gameplay though.
Yeah, like they had a whole.
That was my
Like
complaint.
the demo that they showed behind closed doors is the entire A-Day sequence of the explosion and them fighting all the stuff and everything, and then it jumping 5 years out. It's the whole thing uninterrupted. They didn't even know why Hulk transforms when he falls off the plane. It's like, why'd you even cut that
I
out?
knew
You could've just
they
left
could have
that.
showed that. I knew that was going to be.
I like how they're presenting. They're trying to tell you, hey, we're putting money behind this because we have like all the top voice actors and.
It was
like like something the Avengers of voice actors.
And like I was saying, like I'm happy that they're actually putting the money into it to say, oh hey, we're gonna offer new characters into there. So we're not gonna. Cause come on now, as many times as the Avengers and change hands with characters and everything, it's like
everyone's been a damn Avenger,
right? So it's like cool that you're gonna put this into there, but I'm actually wondering if this game is going to play into the Spider-Man universe.
That's why a lot of people are.
That's the idea.
They already have a theory for that. In the game, in the Spider-Man game, I can't remember what part, but he mentions the Avengers or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mentions them in San Francisco.
He
mentions them.
I forgot about that.
Said the Avengers are in San Francisco at an event.
You say that when you
then-
actually
son
when
of
you
a
go,
bitch.
when you
And
go
then-
to Avengers Town, when you actually go to their
You're
town.
right. I
That's
remember
right.
that.
And then we get to the Avengers game,
And now they're in San
the
Francisco.
big set pieces on the San Francisco
So
Bridge
I'm
and
wondering
everything
if
like
that
that.
is actually
So-
taking place like right after.
And they
So-
said there's going to be some exclusive Sony content,
So-
which I believe is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and it's going to be that Spider-Man with the white spider.
So that's kind of like the main theory right now on how this is in the same universe as the Sony Spider-Man.
And Ultimate Alliance 3, same universe.
There's one thing that I happen to notice in the Avengers trailer. Spider-Man, is that Peter Parker? Because that's Miles Morales' costume, but that's not Peter Parker's costume.
And what? Go game?
And the Avengers.
They showed his stuff in the Avengers?
Wait.
No, that was
I'm getting
Wrong game.
You're thinking
Wrong
Ultimate Alliance.
I'm thinking about Ultimate Alliance. My bad. Ignore me.
bad form.
Fail!
Steve. So should we 1, 2, 3? Bad person.
Anyway.
I am
wasn't
crying.
that bad. It wasn't that bad, but I really wanted to do it.
I'm crying. I'm
No, it's
sad.
okay, then we love you. But no. The hell off my train of thought again. That whole thing. The whole little side thing, you would lose everything.
Talking about Avengers and how
I don't really personally have too big of an issue with the outfit. Like my mind, of course, also too went to like MCU. A lot of people are like really hung up on the MCU thing. Years ago, we wouldn't want that kind of shit. Like, cause we're like, why we don't want the game to be based on the movie or anything like it. I don't want the actors in it.
But since they've done it right,
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
oh man. But I'm okay because I know these voice actors and I'm fine with this. I know they're gonna do a
so-
good performance. It takes used to getting used to a new face.
When they go into a game.
But I was fine with Spider-Man.
Unless they actually go into like, I can't say I want anything in Avengers because I mean, how can I add the cinematic universe into there when they just ended their stuff with a cinematic universe? And I don't want that in this game.
Yeah, and this is the original story. Why would I want those actors in an original Marvel story?
So
it would make sense.
So either give me a new design, or rip me from the comic book.
Now you say you don't like these designs, right? Well, let me tell you something, brother. They're gonna have some great skins you can buy.
I'm okay. Like we had talked about before, there is some cosmetic issues that we have seen. But the game's not out yet.
The game's not out yet.
It's a year. March? Yeah, we got about a year before that game actually.
2020 is gonna be fucking ridiculous. There's a lot of shit coming out in 2020, early 2020. Like,
no, look. Let's be honest about this whole thing. We start getting fucked in August, okay? Because August trickling down into next year is shit literally coming out, okay?
Yeah.
So we got through August, stopping at the end of the year, so you get a post month because you're gonna be fucked during Christmas, okay? Because doing that, then going into January because that's your recovery month, so you're fucked then.
Oh, no, January usually has 1 or 2 huge games now.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, but you're fucked then because you're trying to recover from Christmas of what you've done, and they got stuff coming out then, and then we got this shit going all the way down until, March of next year.
Yeah.
Of literally back-to-back stuff. Some of the titles even being 2 a month.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna be broke, cuz.
Not me, because I'm broke anyway. So I can only pick a couple games anyway. So everything else becomes a Game Pass.
I'm about to make it work. I'm gonna make it work, baby.
You gonna make it?
I'm gonna make it work, baby.
You can't keep trying to sell them kids, man. It's not
Look. eBay, you can sell anything.
Okay.
Anyway, Avengers definitely has my interest. I think it has potential to be a really great game. It's got to see more of it. But maybe they'll release that demo at some point to give me a little more confidence.
Maybe.
So then moving on.
But as you said, Enix has been doing that.
Enix has been doing that, and this was a good, and that was the end, and that was a good conference. Like, it was good.
It was great.
I think we give it an A because I'm like, they have a lot of cool shit in there. And so then you move on from there to the Nintendo Direct. The Nintendo Direct the next day. Also, may I also defer you once again to youtube.com/SFXXPLAY to see our reactions, because when they announced No More Heroes 3, Panzer Dragoon Remake, and fucking Banjo and Smash, our very own Chris Panda, I'm pretty sure, jizzed and peed himself at the same time.
He jizzed, peed, and shit himself.
He
lost his shit.
Stroke.
I didn't know his voice could go that high. It was early, and I was just getting up some breakfast, and I got these headphones on to listen, and I hear him go. I'm not gonna do it for the consideration of the podcast listeners. Kind of like that. It was crazy.
He just screamed.
It was
crazy.
Watch the
video.
Go watch the video. It was crazy, and not just those games, but Luigi's Mansion. I have never been that into Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
but I am into this.
Luigi Mansion 3 looks amazing.
So
it
just
great.
It looks really cool.
Going into that, most of you guys at the table know how into Ghostbusters Carter is.
Yeah.
Into that. We know, he was a Ghostbuster for Halloween and everything. He has it on Blu-ray. My man saw that and he looked at me, he said, "Is Luigi a Ghostbuster?" I said, yes, it is.
Yes, he is.
He says, "We gotta get that game."
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's not out yet." He's like, "Are we gonna get it?" I'll pre-order it for you. I will make sure of that.
And then to piggyback off of,
he was.
To piggyback off of that, being that I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I fucking love.
Oh, me too, dude. If I could dress up as Ghostbuster for con, I would.
And then I have played. Yeah, it's not that hard. I've played
more
every.
proton pack. The more it hurts.
I've played every Luigi's Mansion. I've played the one on GameCube. I played the second one. I played Dark Moon on 3DS.
Holy shit! I didn't know you were that into it.
So
Neither did I. Wow.
I'm about to say. So I'm hyped for Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, I'm into this. Like, he slams the shit out of those ghosts. So like, he has had enough of this shit, and he's fighting back.
And then I liked how they factored in, Gooigi. And then how now if two people play, you necessarily don't have to hand it off, because when you play by yourself, you basically got to hand the spirit off to Gooigi because he can only do.
They're doing things together.
Right. And doing stuff together. Where say if Matt and Carter played at the same time, you necessarily don't have to hand off. You don't necessarily have to hand it off. So being that they really showed into it, because last year they just showed us like, hey, it's coming out and we're making it, and they didn't really say anything. Where now this year, they just fully got into it and showed everything for it.
And this is some new stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it is a new game. It is Luigi, but they updated it down to a point.
It looks good.
Yeah, they updated it, and then this actually has polish, which is what I feel the other ones were lacking. Where like the other ones like they were good, but they didn't have that pretty polish. Where
everybody's looking at me because I did my belt. I'm fat, everybody.
Where Luigi's Mansion 3, it has that pretty polish on top of it. And yes, Davey, I'm not all brute force and being aggressive and shit. I play other games too.
And that
I'm surprised you like Ghostbusters. I never knew that.
Multiplayer looks great. That multiplayer looks.
Yeah, the multiplayer does.
That looks.
It looks
like
great if you're with a person who's not a griefer. So he's not an asshole. I am into it. Looking forward to that. I think that comes out this year.
Yes.
There's a lot of games for Switch that's coming out this year. That's the one thing I loved about Switch. There was a lot of games they show, and most of it's coming out this year. And
the direct focus largely on 2019.
Yes.
They had to. Animal Crossing was their only major 2020 title, and that's because it got delayed out of 2019.
Right.
Which is fine.
We'll get to
they're polishing animals.
We'll get to what I was gonna say towards the end.
And I mean, they showed very long gameplay update to Ex Machina.
Yeah.
They showed.
How did you feel about that, Mr. Mythology?
That shit is already bought.
That's mine.
That's how I
game is
feel.
mine.
I was there. I'm like,
did you guys play the demo?
yeah.
I couldn't get into the demo.
It played.
It was okay.
It played exactly like Armored Core to me.
It plays
I played a lot of freaking Armored Core.
It reminds me of Armored Core and Zone of Vendors to me. The speed of it.
The speed of it is it's more grounded based, but it depends on what you're playing as.
Right.
And
they're all
flying.
Different. Yeah.
Yes, and it was there. I was like,
it did have my attention when he threw the sword in the sky.
Right, I was seeing that, and I'm like, oh,
okay,
this is gonna be good.
And the fact that this game comes out on my birthday.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh.
On the 13th.
Stop putting yourself on.
Which I'm just going to go into.
I am getting it.
And once again, they're trying to screw me because it comes out the same day as Borderlands.
Oh, damn.
They're both.
I gotta beat Borderlands too.
Yeah. It comes out the 13th, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
I just don't know how to stream Borderlands 2 anymore since it just gets fucked when I stream that game. But I'll probably still play it though. They show Luigi's Mansion, they show Daemon X Machina, they show more Astral Chain. And then they do a Treehouse live after it. They do two parts. They do one video, another video, really showing the mechanics. That shit looks cool. And they Link's Awakening. Yeah, was that after Luigi? I guess it was.
I think so.
Well, Link's Awakening looks good. I've never played the original. I never had a Game Boy.
There are a lot of people that's very excited about it.
I know. People.
I've never played Link's Awakening, but it looks. Honestly, I want to play it because Link looks adorable. I just like that little chibi form, his little beady black eyes.
They really did just take the Game Boy version of it, add color, and update the graphics on it.
I've been told from like it's exactly like it's exactly that.
I definitely picked
to steal a phrase from another world that I'm involved with. Astro Chain is gonna be a barn burner.
It's gonna be fucking sweet.
Like Astro Chain is gonna be crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I literally bought back a Switch just for Astro Chain.
Like,
I did.
Like I will finally be able to blow the dust off my Switch in the next few months.
And it's not
in the next few months.
Same. See, the only reason why I haven't played my Switch is because I've been playing my PC a lot. So it does get neglected. But I do love my Switch, and honestly, I just can't wait to
I have to pull the list of the games because there was so many I can't remember.
Like mainly after Mario Odyssey, that was when my Switch kind of went dormant. Because after I put so much into Mario Odyssey, which was why I bought the Switch.
I love Mario Odyssey.
Being that Mario Odyssey was what it was, because I was hoping that we got like maybe some DLC for like a brand new area or something like that. Once I saw that this is what it was, as much as I loved it, I was like, okay, we're not getting nothing new. So
I was say my Switch didn't collect as much dust because I was getting usually you get indie games on like the PC or whatever, but for me it was I get them on the Switch because I know I'm gonna play them more there, and it was like my handheld at work.
You can take it with you.
But now my Joy-Con fucked up, so that's one of the reasons remain dormant at the moment.
That's kind of what I'm gonna lean to, where like the indie games I like, so like Dead Cells and
Dead Cells is sweet.
Yeah, like Dead Cells.
And they had the expansion for that now too.
Oh, did they?
Pedro.
For the Giants.
My friend Pedro.
I'm gonna say Pedro, and then the other indie game that we saw that looked like Dead Cells, but it wasn't.
Started
with an F. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember. Foregone? I think it's called Foregone.
Shit, besides that, Chris.
Besides Play David. I think it's called Foregone.
Yeah, Foregone or something like that. So basically, like, indie games, the mainstream Nintendo only games, is what I'm probably going to use my Switch for.
Yeah, that's usually what I use it for. I would get third party on there if it feels like a Switch game and not like something that's definitely better on the other consoles where I need them there.
Right.
But yeah, like Octopath Traveler for me is a huge. I fucking love that game.
I still haven't even gotten that game yet.
And crap, I completely forgot. I gotta completely reverse back to something that I completely forgot about. Outriders. That was the one done by the team that had done Gears of War Judgment and everything that they had showed during that. I completely forgot about that. That
another
was
one where we didn't actually see the game, but they just talked about it.
And they showed that with Okanari. Okanari was it? They showed that with that as well too. But they were saying that was going to be a single player third person shooter, and knowing that this was the development team that had done Judgment. I got an idea of what the game might actually be at that point. So that was when they didn't show anything, but I'm like, there's my peak interest in to see where this will actually go, even with that trailer that they showed.
There was one game that I guess I gushed a little bit over, and it was Dark Crystal. Because I like the tactics
that's on this
stuff.
list here, the Asia Resistance Tactics.
Because after I saw the trailer for the Netflix show, Dark Crystal, I got really hyped because I got this thing about puppets and stuff. So just seeing that, and they're gonna have a game off of that, and then it's tactics based, and I love tactics RPGs.
It looked janky, but it looked interesting.
I wanna try it out.
No, I can see the appeal for that for it being Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah, people love the tactics based.
Yeah, I love tactics games, so I like stuff like that.
That jank.
So that was surprising. That kind of came out of left field.
And then I have on here, of course, they showed Dragon Age 11, Echoes of Elusive Age, Definitive Edition S. That's a long title. I'm into it. I want to try it. I looked at like a graphics comparison of like the Switch version versus like PS4. It's not that big of a difference because the game is so stylized. It's some lighting things here and there, but you're getting the better version is going to be the Switch version because of all the content.
Yeah.
I definitely want to give that a try. They said Dark Crystal, Trials of Mana, which was out of the blue. Holy shit! And then the Mana Collection, which is out now. I love though. You can get it today.
They had a lot.
Stealth drop.
Oh, it's 40? Fucking hell.
But it's worth it. You're getting what? Yeah, 3 games of those in there.
Yeah.
Those aren't short games.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Adventure, the Secret of Mana, and then the sequel to that, and then Trials of Mana is
also in there.
Trials
of Mana.
The original Trials of Mana, and then the remake is coming out in 2020.
I heard a lot of people were excited for that.
Yeah. I have a coworker who's into the Legend of Mana, and so I told him about this, and he was like, "What?" And
yeah, I heard a lot of people were excited for that.
Fire Emblem, which I've kind of been like, do I have a big brain to play this kind of game? But then I saw the Nintendo Treehouse for it, and I really want to play it. I'm really into this. I love this idea that you're a teacher and you have students, and they all have personalities, and how you treat them in the school determines how they can how they fight out on the battlefield, and the battles look really cool. When you engage with units, like the camera zooms
Hogwarts.
in. Yes, it's definitely that. The camera zooms in on the battle map, right? And you see like other people fighting and shit like that, and they attack. And it's not just a generic like surroundings; it's where you are on the map.
It's what,
and it's really quick and snappy.
I can't say that I had a big thing for like I want to play that. But I guess the thing is to play that on the Switch.
It's a little more appealing, right?
Yeah.
And the story seems really cool.
And that thing with the teacher, that is kind of good because you can sit there and you can play teacher's pet
It's
with somebody, and you can have that grooming of somebody.
It's not just tactics and battling. There's more around it, and there's you can really explore the world, and it feels more like a bigger adventure.
So it's more of this is really more of an RPG than just
tactics. And it's console based. So you are getting the horsepower added to it being
that's one of the major
gives you this kind of world. But this is why I'm more interested in Pokemon, because I know it's just Pokemon, but I want to feel like I'm going out to be the very best. And
this is gonna probably be the first Pokemon game I'll ever sit down and play.
That's why I bought a Pokeball.
You should have bought that damn Pokeball.
I bought a Pokemon Plus for that reason alone.
Question, since I didn't watch too much of the Treehouse stuff, besides Sword and Shield, did they say anything about that open world Pokemon game?
There isn't one. Like, this is the Pokemon game that I've been talking about.
Oh,
Sword and Shield.
Oh,
yeah, because they did like Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, and they were like they're doing their main line console Pokemon, what they said, and that's what Sword and Shield are. And if you look at if you look at the wild area, it's pretty open. It kind of gives those Breath of the Wild kind of feel to it.
That's open world. You
huge.
actually when they
and
showed,
you get a munch trying to beat your ass.
when they showed the gameplay,
man.
That is disturbing, man.
When they showed the gameplay,
That is fucking disturbing.
Run up and beat the shit out of you.
I'll be scared as hell. Like, oh hell no!
I was really on board when I saw like the gameplay for that because I was like, I don't feel. First off, I don't have to walk on just this narrow path.
Yeah, it feels like you can just go and you can fish out the lane, and it just feels more like an adventure. A little more in there to make it kind of beat the monotony a little more back.
Can I just say one thing though?
It better be good.
Well, my only complaint was that there was no mention of Metroid 4.
No, of course not. I didn't think there was going to be.
That's going to be Nintendo Direct.
They had to explode that game and start over.
Yeah, they said that off rip.
They switched developers. Yeah,
they said that off rip.
Development wasn't going the way they wanted it to. And this is a very un-Nintendo thing to do because they were very upfront and honest and transparent about it because usually they keep this shit under wraps. But they said development was not going the way they wanted to, so they scrapped the whole damn thing and transferred the project to Retro, who did Metroid Prime.
So So that's why. So you won't get a Metroid Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, don't expect a gameplay trailer or anything until next year, buddy.
They said off rip before E3 even started. They was just like, "Hey, don't expect anything about Metro.
No,
that shit ain't gonna be there."
No,
so
nah,
B.
I was expecting Bayonetta 3.
I will.
Me too.
I figured that's a direct.
Yeah, and then they have Astral Train.
Yeah,
I keep saying Astro Train, the Transformer.
Astro Train, take off!
Shut up! He's fucking badass though, man. He was like,
he can hold all the Transformers. He can hold their tanks.
He was a triple changer, man. That shit
he could go. He could be a train. He was a train. He could train into a ship.
Space shuttle,
and then he was the
dude. Man, that's fucking sweet.
This train just slid off of the damn tracks.
The fucking toys. Anyway.
Oh my Lord.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
And an astral chain. It's also at Platinum, and I feel like they probably want to just focus on that because it's coming out this year. Bayonetta was never coming out this year, but they don't want to focus on it, and you don't want to take the breath away from another game you're already working on for that same studio. So let Astral Chain come out.
Because they're working on that. That'll be out. We'll get Bayonetta.
Yeah,
sometime
we'll get
next
Bayonetta.
year probably.
So there, I can see the reason to buy it.
And there was another game well, you guys probably don't care about it. I don't care. I'm just gonna touch on it.
What is it?
Kakarot.
I'm
gonna.
This is not the table to touch on that at. That's all great. Another Xenoverse clone. I don't give a fuck.
And that's all
it is. It's an RPG. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's all it is. And I was sitting there. I was like, how do you really make this RPG and make this good?
It's not. It's just gonna be another one of them horseshit.
Anything with this. No, and all the everybody's gonna buy it because they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is gonna be sweet."
Ball, and it is easier to play than fucking fighters because it's not a real fighting game.
And it's gonna be trash.
Trash.
It's gonna be trash.
Gosh.
I just had to say that about that game. That yes, it's gonna be trash.
Well, I'm glad you gave it the shout out.
Trash.
Another game that gets a shout out because it was really fucking weird is The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt coming to the Switch with all the DLC.
Wow. What?
Just fucking random as fuck, man.
That really was.
Anybody out there, if you literally have anything else, don't
not
get
buy
this
it
game on the Switch.
Do not buy it
I
on
don't
the
care.
Switch.
I don't care if it is to play on the go. Please.
I know people too who are like, I don't care, I want to play it on the go.
No, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
This game is running at 540p in handheld and 720p docked. Like, many cuts were made to make this thing fit. I mean, it's the full game. It's everything.
I know it's everything.
It's just it looks like Vaseline was put over the screen. Like, goddamn. I mean, I'll get on them for doing it. It's gonna sell like crazy. Everything on that system apparently does. That's third party. That was somewhere else because you just fucking love it. But goddamn, I mean, I'm impressed that it. Jesus Christ!
Was that your butt?
I thought the floor was creaking.
Was that your butt?
That mac and cheese.
Was that your butt?
So, bad. I'm so sorry. Well, this is our last bit, so we can if we can just power through it, we'll be okay. So Witcher 3 is there for those who want it. It's just fucking weird. I think it's hilarious. It's potato mode, girl.
It's gonna look like it's drawn in crayon.
And okay, I will say next on my list, Resident Evil 5 and 6. They actually put something on here that I would get Witcher 3 over on the Switch, and if I had to, gun to my head, I'm like, well, guess I'm playing The Witcher because I don't want Resident Evil fucking 6. But it's on there for people who want it.
The Witcher
some
3.
People seem to like it.
The Witcher.
Some people like it.
The Witcher 3 on Switch look like paper mache.
It looks rough.
It looks bad.
It looks rough.
I have it on PC. I'm
like,
straight.
I know I say, hey, put everything on Switch, but
It looked.
That is the one exception.
Look,
there's plenty of exceptions. Goddamn.
No, The Witcher 3 looks like Gumby. Okay, it looks like Gumby.
I will be interested to see, because aside from how it looks, I'm curious to see how it actually runs before those sacrifices. Like, how smooth did they get it to go?
What about when they get those close-ups?
Ooh.
You play Gwent.
No, I'll do whatever you want. I just want to play this game.
Let's throw him down.
Can I go and play Gwent instead of doing this?
Let's throw him down.
How them titties look? Like fucking squares.
This game is going to look like a PS1 game.
It's on Nintendo, so that boost is Kirby's.
I'm
Just sitting there.
say Lara Croft PS1 polygon titties.
Man.
How them titties look. I am such a chauvinist pig. So Resident Evil 5 and 6, had some crazy kids playing it in the haunted house, and then the guy from who made the Switch came out and said, "Them kids are fucking dumb. I wouldn't play it there. Maybe you would." And he went on to announce.
So that's not exactly where I see myself playing Resident Evil.
No, it is cool to get Resident Evil. You get Resident Evil 0. I think you have Resident Evil 1 on there.
It's the they did the Origins collection.
It's 2's not there, right? No, 2's not there.
Yeah.
But then you also get or
it would look like The Witcher.
You don't get 2 or 3. I mean Nemesis, like the original games,
Nemesis.
Or Veronica. Nobody wants Veronica though. Game's garbage. I mean, this is the worst one. How is it not the worst one? 6 is the worst one.
I mean, if they remake Veronica with the standards of what they did with 2.
With 2, then sure, but no, they're not. But they might. Who knows?
I got a feeling they're going to do it.
But then you have 4. Great. 5. Okay. I didn't like it, but 5. I beat it.
I did not like 5.
And 6. So I'm like, you get a nice collection on
co-op.
I powered through 5. I powered through 5.
We co-op the hell out of it.
I beat 5. I think I beat 5 about 6 times. Like we're talking when it came out on 360. Mm-hmm. I beat it like with other people. But I said, "Hey, you want to play it?" And then I beat it like by myself twice and played with other people.
Honestly, the only look is 6. That's really it. And then No More Heroes 3. Which is fucking great. I was concerned.
Travis strikes again.
My concern was, since they had released that and it wasn't a real No More Heroes game, that they're gonna look at the sales for that and go, "Well, the crowd's not interested in No More Heroes." No, they're interested in that garbage. So they didn't. So trash. So 80 years. So well, they realized it was, yes,
trash.
Yeah. But we're getting a full No More Heroes 3 sequel. Very excited. Didn't show actual full gameplay. We don't know what that looks like yet. It's coming out.
But we got come on, it's No More Heroes, and it's the actual No More Heroes game.
My hope is that they just clean up the in between. The combat is always fun, but they always try to lengthen the game with shitty mini games. The first game they were really trash. You're mowing lawns and shit. I'm like, this is bad. And then No More Heroes 2, they got rid of those, and you also traverse this shitty open world thing in No More Heroes 1. They got rid of that in No More Heroes 2. And then they also put in cool 8 or 16-bit mini games instead of the jobs you were doing for No More Heroes 2. So I'm hoping for No More Heroes 3 they really kind of clean that up more, do more, have more interesting in between stuff, and then just the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay has always been fucking sweet, man. The gameplay has been fucking cool. This is every time. Give me more slashing, give me more weird ass dudes screaming when they get cut in half. Give me a crazy, ridiculous soundtrack.
They always throw stuff, yeah.
Yes.
I love when dudes get their heads cut off because it's the best fucking sound in the world.
Oh!
So because Davey has never played it, when you cut a dude's head off, fountains of blood spring out with coins and they go, "Ow!" It's like Michael Jackson died, but he was in Dead Alive.
Reanimate her.
Yeah.
Shit was.
I love Dead Alive.
The shit is just. It's sweet. So I'm hoping to see more about that. And then of course, this was a E3 darling, but for not in a good way. Everybody talked about it for all the wrong reasons. This is Contra. Rogue Core.
Next.
Coming out in September 24th, 2019, when it looks like something would have came out in 2009. 2006, 2000. It was really.
Oh, damn! Really?
96.
Yeah, I guess you're
97.
This shit is ugly as fuck.
This looks like it came out on the Dreamcast.
This is worse than The Witcher. This looks worse than The Witcher 3.
Their Dreamcast games look better than that.
Yes.
Shut up.
Go back and look at Power Stone and look at that. Come on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Shenmue. Come on.
Wait, and the Demon's Hand look better than that.
I'm sure.
Oh,
Nah.
I'm sure we gonna show you.
And the Demon's Hand didn't look
Our silent producers gonna show.
Chris was running around with a big ass machine gun in that game and all that.
I mean, the Panda is cool. Everything else is fucked. Maybe it'll run at 60 minutes out.
No,
man, that's the game, bro.
It's so fucked. I can't believe.
Steve, stop lying.
Guns overheat.
Oh, guns overheat.
Guns
And
overheat.
Contra.
This is the one like major blemish from their conference is a shit. Now,
that's a big zit.
Tell me this don't look like Contra. This is on Dreamcast.
This is on Dreamcast. Look how much better this looks.
It's called Expendables.
Expendable. Much better looking.
I remember that.
Look at that. You get these cool looking kind of spray paint. They could have just made this. They could have just brought this back out. It would have been better.
And your gun doesn't overheat.
Holy shit.
That is so dumb. I did not know
Dreamcast had a lot of cool ass games, man.
It did.
It's gonna be a pain in the
That's why
ass
it's my
trying to get
favorite
those
system.
games. Anyway, I'll worry about that
Dope.
later. But goddamn, it sucks. Now, conversely, you are getting the Contra Collection, which is coming out the same day. No, it's available now. It's out now. The Contra Collection's bad.
There's 3 versions of Contra 1 in it.
3
In 10 games. There's 10 games, 3 versions of Contra 1.
Oh no, that's a waste.
Yep.
Okay, how about they just brought out Hardcore Uprising? That'd have been better. Hardcore is really it's hard as fuck, but it's really
They
cool.
could have given me hardcore Contra 3.
Yeah.
Contra 3. I could have taken that one.
God, we fucking sucked at that game when I was a kid, man. The Contra in general was fucking garbage, man.
Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah,
better
yeah.
at Super Contra, and that was it.
They literally could have released a Contra and released. I'm just talking. They could have did a Mana collection thing and released like 3 Contras, and I would have been happy with that.
Versus with the 3 of the same game.
And it's $30.
That's some like old ass 2010 Sega Genesis collection type of shit.
And it's $30.
$30? Fuck that. Nope. Fuck it. Moving on. I really appreciate how they did not spend a lot of time on Pokemon because they had a whole direct for it. I think it was 60 seconds total. Move the fuck on, and you have your Pokeball thing.
They showed what's her name? Nessa.
What? What's so funny? What did I do?
It's always just the way you said it. They had a whole direct for it. They spent 60 seconds to move the fuck off.
We gotta keep this train rolling, just like this one. Okay, this is a long show. This is like our end-game show, man.
It's just the way you said it.
It's a long show going over E3, but it had to be done, so fuck it. I like that they spent a little bit of time over it. Went into deep dives about the Dynamax stuff in the treehouse.
And we got to see Nessa.
And we got to see the fan art was probably drawn up 10 seconds after the fucking character was shown.
Man,
What is that's a children's game.
Hold on.
Goddamn,
What are
Chunky
you talking about?
with the girl with the big old hoops.
I'm talking about the main shit.
The gym leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I mean, the character designs are cool in this game. First of all, they all look pretty cool, but good lord.
Bruh, by the end of that day, I seen about 5 of those on my
And some of them are good. Like some of these are like good art, but some of these
Some were really good.
Man.
like
some
the
were really
holy Jesus Christ!
That's a big dick.
Wow.
He is showing me some Nissa hentai.
Some
That
were
was
really-
so fast. So fast. Faster than you can say Wobbuffet. God damn. What am I looking at?
It's supposed to be silent.
That is not kid friendly. What kind of Dynamax is that, man? Is that a Mega Evolution? I've never seen that.
We're not kidding.
No, they weren't.
When she came out, everybody had been just completely
My scalp is dry. I need some of your grease. Ugh.
completely
Hit the shit out of me.
I did.
on it.
Alright, that's fucked. Let's move on from that. Looking forward to playing the game. I'm looking forward to big ass Dynamax. We haven't even been together since they showed the direct for Pokemon. So I mean, just to touch on it quickly, I'm really digging the wild area. I'm really digging the design of the world. I'm digging those character designs. I'm really into this.
That Pokemon, that whistling to call them out was cool.
Yeah, like
That was really cool
You know,
to do it with that.
I like this a lot. Like this is what I want out of a Pokemon game. I don't need it to be this huge. It's Skyrim with Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
I just want it to be a little more engaging to make me feel like I'm in the world, and
Truth
that's
of
what
the
this one
matter,
is doing.
I could do this and I would be okay with them because I always say I would like a Pokemon kind of stadium type thing. But I am okay with them making Pokemon games like this and give me another Pokemon.
I could see them doing.
I could just give me
Pokken Tag Tournament 2.
Okay, I just want a Pokemon
You
Stadium.
can get that
You mean to beat your ass in?
You can get that Hitmonchan.
Anyway,
Well, maybe.
I mean, you never did get that run back.
Just walking up on you.
I mean, there is something disconcerting about a human form looking Pokemon with a championship belt running up on your ass on the grass and just
we're gonna
chasing you. Like, it's a nightmare.
Let's put this into.
Is that a man? No. That's not a man. That's a Pokemon.
Let's honestly put this into the equation, okay? Let's just
that man got fins run.
Wait, let's put this into the equation. That deer just running around the yard. Can you imagine if I just happen to go outside
and they just fight you like just a
I'm like,
that deer has a championship belt. This is my deer.
And I'm like, I don't have any Pokemon.
And
he's running in this stray dog runs up on me, okay? And I'm like, how the hell am I going to
not just biting you, fighting you, like with like lasers and shit. Shit up his ass.
Not even just lasers, like the Hitmonchan.
It's gonna beat the shit out of you.
You know, you got WWE fighter running up on you, and he about to take you to the mat right now.
I can see it already. It's like you can get your phone out. Like, yeah, sir. I'm gonna be late for work. Look at your window. But this is a champ standing outside, and he won't go away.
All right, he's pointing his middle finger at me.
Or you hit it, or can you imagine you like somebody hits a deer or hits an animal or something? Can you imagine hitting something like you get a legendary Pokemon that runs across your car?
Oh, no,
and it's like.
So I'm gonna be late to work. I think our God just ran into my car. Oh, it's bad.
Or a bubble solar hits you with a solar flare.
Yeah, I was like, I can't see. You'd be like 5 minutes late, or.
I honestly don't know. So,
but you know, I'm digging it. I'm looking forward to it.
I got kicked by a Hitmonlee. I'm gonna be a little.
I got a broken leg.
I got hit with some razor leaves. I might have to get a couple of stitches.
Man, control your Squirtle. Man, control your Squirtle. I gotta go change clothes. Come on, control your Squirtle, man.
But see, that's the funny thing about it that you don't look at. That these are
gross.
These are the animals that are of their world.
Yeah, animals, pets, fighters, gods, anything.
And you go to your friend's house. You're not afraid of Voltrex, are you?
I'm allergic to death. But you know, like the thing that didn't catch me about old Pokemon games for a long time I played like Diamond and Pearl right for like 20 hours, and you see 20 hours of the same sprite going and then I skipped like Sun and Moon and all that stuff because first of all, it ran like trash because it was the 3D graphics on the 3DS did not go well.
No.
But this one, it's like the thing that it made me lose interest. It wasn't the actual repetitiveness of the battling. It was just how it looked. I'm like, if it looked a little more engaging. So now everything looks more engaging. You have this world to explore and to move the camera around.
And you get animations with the fighting.
You get really cool animations, and you get this big dumbass Dynamax shit that looks stupid, and I love it.
You're not getting. And then
you like the big Pokemon?
Not a fan.
Why not?
I don't get it.
Oh, you don't get why they? Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it. I think it's unnecessary.
Because here's the Pokemon always does this. They add a feature in right to one version, and then when you go into the next Pokemon game, they take it out and replace it with something else. You had Mega Evolutions, you had Z Evolutions, you had these big moves, and now they replace all that with Dynamax. So now you just make your Pokemon bigger, and then they do larger scale versions of the moves they do. And I guess the Dynamax, like them getting bigger, is tied into the story somehow. So,
I guarantee.
I like it. When I saw that shit get huge, I was like, I love it. It's so stupid. Look at this big fat ass Pikachu.
It's Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh.
Can I get a Dynamax Goldeen, please? Just flap it around like this. Fish for everybody.
It's gonna be Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh. It's probably gonna be a holographic thing for the gym because look at the large of how scaled that gym was. Probably it's a holographic version of.
Yeah, holographic. They making them fucking things huge because there's raid battles. So you can bring 3 of your other friends into a raid and fight one out in the wild. And so they're just big. They just get big and then they get little.
Giga Pokemon.
Giga Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Now I choose you. Oh shit.
You don't want to get hit with that.
Pikachu, use Thunder Shock.
I'm sure they go old after
Shadow.
a while, but I'm still looking forward to it. I like that they have horrifying birds that are also taxi cabs. That are fucking, 10 feet tall, fucking
What's
monster
that big
birds
black raven
attached to a
thing?
cab. Huh?
That big black raven Pokemon.
That's the taxi cab.
Oh, that thing was so cool.
This shit is cool and
I want
horrifying.
that.
I'm not gonna get that. You kidding me? It's gonna take me to my destination and then eat me. But we'll move on from Pokemon. Looking forward to it. We talked about Daemon X Machina, Panzer Dragoon, which, like I heard, like Chris said earlier, now you don't have to spend $90 on a Saturn game unless you're a collector and have a problem, and then you probably will get it anyway because you do, Mo. How many Saturn games you got? How much money you spent? Yeah, okay, don't even gotta say it on here. I see your face getting small. So
He lost control of his ass and the thought of it.
They made him fart.
Wait, what?
Fucking lost
He
control
booted-
of his ass, yeah. Because
Oh,
he was
man.
thinking about, he had to hold that shit in and
I
lost
put you on the
control
spot.
of
I'm
his
sorry.
ass.
You need to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't.
Oh my god, it smells like you do.
Oh, whoa! Oh my! Whoa!
Panzer Dragoon comes out this winter, 2019. Revision Astral Chain. Looks great. August 30th. I tried not to breathe through my mouth and
Oh
speak.
God, Mike.
Oh my god, you stinky bitch.
Hey, you just taking shit, bro.
Empire of Sin looks interesting. Looks like a top-down mafioso kind of deal. Cadence of Hyrule. Who was interested? God, you smell. Ugh.
Bad person.
Who? Bad person.
Bad person.
Bad person. Bad person. Bad person. Bad person. Bad person. Bad person. Okay. So.
Ow.
That one was a little more concerned.
Yeah. God damn, it's still here. It's still here. Is there a spray? Is there a spray? Is there a spray?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Cadence of Hyrule. Cool rhythm based. It's for the people who did Crypt of the Necro Dancers, like a music based dungeon crawler, and then you've got Cadence of Hyrule. I like the music sounds fucking sweet. If I could get that soundtrack, I would be thrilled. Matt, any thoughts?
You want me to take this off?
Yes, because I've taken mine off. So if I have to fucking suffer, everyone else in the room does. Had a Dynamax.
It's good.
It's good. There you go, Dynamax.
It's good.
Part. Now this one was a surprise to me. Is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo?
Once
Hasn't
again, kids saw that,
had all over it.
and they were like, "Is that new?" Yes, it's new. Wait, can they surf? I'm like, yeah, that was, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, "Shit, I want to play this one."
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I want
And
to play that.
apparently everything there is going to actually be at the Tokyo Games. They're doing a skateboarding Olympics tournament and a surfing tournament and all this stuff.
that's amazing.
It seems cool. I saw some extended gameplay of it, and the only issue I do have with it is that it does still look kind of like bland. Like you're not getting a kind of pizzazz, but it
It's
is an
still-
official Olympic games. You're not gonna get. But I know when one of those ones in the future they have like dream events where things were a little more like crazy looking. So I hope they bring some of that back too. But the game looks cool. Like if they can make those like the actual gameplay more engaging and a little deeper, like make that skateboarding feel a little deeper, almost like Tony Hawk levels. Like,
It won't
be as deep
won't
as that,
be.
but at least like some of that, like half of that, like Skatebird. You know what I mean? Like something. No. Kelly Slayer's Pro Surfer. Better than that because it wasn't that great. Anyway, looks
Jesus,
interesting.
for PlayStation 2?
Yeah, I played.
Jesus
I
Christ.
had a very boring summer where I was at a video store and just rented any old thing and played it in the kitchen on the kitchen TV. Don't remember why I had to go down to the kitchen TV. Anyway,
That's where the TV was for me, so that's where I played Resident Evil.
why did I play in the kitchen? Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, this is before I had a PS2. I was playing PS1 games.
No, that's right.
And I
I'm
didn't
talking
have
about
it.
Resident Evil 2.
I didn't have my new TV yet. That's why I was playing in the kitchen. Huh? There's a TV in the kitchen, brother. That's all it is. It's a little ass 20-inch.
It's a little TV. I had a 13-inch TV in our kitchen.
A white 13-inch TV.
Mine was
tube
Panasonic.
TV. Yep, just sitting on the counter. Anyway, so anyway, and then Animal Crossing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something.
Delay.
I am fine with it being delayed. You know why? Because Nintendo cares about their employees.
That's right.
They're delaying it so that way the employees don't suffer so much from crunch, which is what everybody should be doing. Because there's a human cost when it comes to making these
Go
fucking
home,
games.
get some sleep.
You know,
we'll resume later.
These
Exactly.
people, they
have,
take time away from their families to do this.
Yes, they have. You know, they the way they make their games. You know, they bring in people, additional people when needed to get over crunch. So that way you're not fucking murdering everybody you have there. The investors were upset about it. Nintendo was like, big fucking deal. You're still gonna want us to make this game, aren't you? So too bad. We're Nintendo. We own a baseball team.
Suck on my face.
So get the fuck out of my face. I'm Doug Bowser, bitch. I got.
His name is Bowser.
Yeah, no relation.
No relation.
Man, how you gonna snub my mans like that though at the beginning? Like, you ain't gotta do him that way.
Hey.
Just embarrass Bowser. Just embarrass him.
Wrong,
Like,
Bowser.
huh?
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Not that way. Not that way.
No,
that way.
that way.
That way. That's the VIP lounge. You don't get to go over
Like
there.
that way.
Hey, man, Bowser was saying some interesting stuff, man.
He was like, I thought it was funny.
No.
Like Bowser had his little tie on.
Yeah, man, he looked
He was ready to
I
go,
was like,
man. He
alright,
probably
Bowser.
planned. He probably
Business.
planned days for that shit.
Right.
Business casual Bowser.
Now
Poor
we
Bowser Jr., man, had to beat him out his dad again. Still know who his mama is.
Now we know. Now we know what the new Mario Odyssey game is going to be about because they had to fuck Bowser.
Now he's gonna get the revenge on Nintendo itself. But Animal Crossing, New Horizons. Oh my god!
I'm excited.
I fucking love Animal Crossing.
Oh, you
I
the same Castaway?
That's probably why I like it so much. I can't explain why. I think Animal Crossing just hits those notes to me that a simulation game does that I like so much, like SimCity and The Sims.
I don't know why. I've never been a fan of Animal Crossing.
I can't-
I've gotten a lot from you when talking about it, but this one actually did look interesting when I was.
You know, it's prettier. There's more stuff to do. It's not just island based. There's normally every Animal Crossing is made in the northern hemisphere. And then you go to an island, all separate somewhere to just get rare items. This time, you get to be in the northern hemisphere where the normal shit is, and you get the southern hemisphere where the island is, and all this stuff. And Tom Nook ready to just violate your pockets. Man, I need to do something about him. I felt like if he was in Smash Brothers, his main goal would be just to steal away your percentages, and you just get him. But I just love this kind of shit, and I think it's because it moves with you. Like, you know, there's a life that was lived even when you're not there, because it goes off the game's internal clock.
Yeah.
For anybody who hasn't played Animal Crossing, when it's Christmas in real life, it's Christmas in the game. It's
That's
when
why I
the
love
seasons
about
change,
that.
neighbors come and go. I remember not playing that game for like a week and a half or 2 weeks or however long it was, and I come back and I have people who I liked who are gone. I'm like, oh shit, they moved away.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And just the idea of building up your house and kind of getting the town together, and and it's so chill. It's very relaxing. I just really dig it, and I'm excited to see that now it's multiplayer, like solo or on couch co-op or online.
Couch co-op is
People
really
can just
good.
come, you can do stuff together, and just don't fuck up my town. Just don't fuck up my house. You can put furniture. It's a small thing, but you can put furniture outside, and it just kind of adds another level of being able to customize where you are. I fucking love it.
I can't wait to play it.
You can sit. You can sit.
Oh, you can sit.
You can just sit. You can't do that in the game. You're always standing, walking around looking crazy. That's why Villager lost his mind. He wants to kill people in Smash. I can't sit, so you will die. I got a dark view on things.
Yes, it did.
Got him walking around. Constantly.
This is extremely bitter. Like, look at these sick motherfuckers. I had to pull the bend your knees, huh?
So pissed off. He's like, your game's cuts off. Mine never stops.
Did they give a release date for that? March 20th. Oh my God, March 20th, 2020.
Yeah.
Jesus, what is up with March? So it's a month with games in it.
A lot of games.
No, here's the issue. Now March has games that I really want too. So now I'm like, well, that's back card it goes.
That's the day before somebody else's birthday.
And I am literally screwed because, like I said, because I got the first class of Final Fantasy.
I'm going to get Animal Crossing. I just take pleasure in controlling Steve's
Final Fantasy.
Oh, Final Fantasy is March.
It's March.
I played the original
first class
Animal
edition
Crossing
for
on
that.
DS.
You're just
That's
with the
like
bike and
$300
everything. Oh my god, $300, man.
No, $350.
Oh, you're paying $50 for the game, $300 for the motorcycle.
Pretty much.
But it's a play. It's a but like. We're
Was that March 15th? March 16th?
No, that's March 3rd.
There's something around Chris's birthday, but I can't remember what it is. It's May. Oh, May. What's around then?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something's gonna happen.
Oh,
There is something coming out.
Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Avengers is May 15th.
Oh yeah. That's not important. Or
Damn.
yeah. The day, the person. No.
Damn.
No, he's just a great video. We think great videos. We love him. If he was here, then we would Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order. I was not as pumped for this game as I am now. Like seeing more of it, it just looks fucking cool. It
You
looks,
get to play with your friends.
It looks like how I remember the original kind of Legends and Alliance games playing, but not because those games are old and jank and
But that hero camera. Oh my god.
Hero camera.
Hero camera?
Yeah, that's the one that if you're playing single player, that's the one that really zooms in. So it's like you're playing like
Okay, an action game.
yeah.
Oh.
Like,
I didn't
I
notice
didn't know
that.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that at all.
That's the hero camera. It
I
zooms
haven't
in,
seen
so
this.
you're in close to where it more seems like you're playing a single game as opposed to just the out and view game. Even though you can go to
I was
that,
gonna
that
say
camera.
just the camera angles in general. I was seeing like how they're going through like the house, and I saw like Juggernaut like chasing them through the house, and they had these like special missions you could attack, and you're fighting like Kingpin, and there's a section you go through, and you go on the rooftop, and now you see like silhouettes of your characters on the side, and like the presentation just seems way more like more money was put into it than the old Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah.
THQ back in the day. I don't remember. Activision, something like that. The old ones, like this seems to have a little bit more put into it. A little presentation. I love how much customization you can do to configure your characters and the RPG elements. Even if your teams aren't like special alliance like teams that give you really cool moves, you can still like power up whatever combination you have.
Yeah.
Like shit is cool. Like I'm really digging it. It's gonna be a lot of fun to play. Get angry
Play with
people.
friends.
Yep, you get angry with your friends. But yeah, we can move on from that. Comes on July 19th.
That's next
Dead
month,
by
baby.
Daylight, September 24th. I don't know
Dead
much
by
about it.
Daylight.
You know, it's whatever. Stranger Things 3, the game. Just Dance 2020, the real shit. No, there was a big montage of shit they showed, so this is all in there. Spyro Reignited trilogy. I knew that was gonna get there. If Crash
not
made
surprised
it,
by that.
Crash made it, Spyro was gonna.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, and I was never a Spyro boy. I was a Crash.
I'll
boy.
play it because I played the first Spyro.
New Super Lucky's Tale.
Huh?
And then
No.
and then also
That sucked.
Crash did extremely well on the Switch.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it only made sense for Spyro to go.
Yeah. Minecraft Dungeons, which actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Diablo.
It
looks like Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo Baldur's Gate kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then Nino Kuni,
I'm getting it.
Wrath of the Right Witch remake.
I'm getting it.
Have fun with that.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, I know Mo doesn't like it. I know Chris doesn't like it. I couldn't really get into it that much when I originally played it, but I didn't play it that much, so I was thinking about revisiting it, but not for like $60.
I can't
tried.
play that. I can watch somebody else play that.
It's very pretty.
I can't play that
Very pretty.
myself.
What's wrong with it?
Well, no, a lot of people love it. A lot of people love this game. It was critically acclaimed. It's just that once you, the gameplay kind of begins to fall apart because it doesn't play as smoothly as something like a Tales game with multiple characters. Once you start to manage multiple party members in Ni no Kuni,
It becomes a pain in the ass.
it becomes very cumbersome to get through. Some people apparently can forgive that for how good the story and the gameplay and the rest of the game is, and how pretty it is. But like, because it kind of worked kind of like. It's almost like Pokemon. You gain more familiars and other things as you fought enemies,
But
and
you got so many of them,
and it just begins
too
to fall
much.
apart. I'm not gonna tell you not to try it because there are people who fucking love this game. So it's all I can tell you is judge it for yourself. Maybe look at gameplay of it first before you decide to pick it up. But I mean, it's cool that it's there because people love it. So and then more RPGs on the Switch. It's nice to see.
Are you mad?
Okay.
No, that's just like pondering face.
Okay.
When it goes really low like that, like a Cro-Magnon, like Catan. So if you got wood for your sheep, tabletop game Settlers of Catan. We had to maybe pick it up at some point. I don't think I have Settlers. I never got around to getting that one. Maybe I'll get it if I go to Origins next year. But another tabletop game. I'd rather pay the actual game pieces and stuff. The Sinking City is coming to the Switch, which is interesting. Alien Isolation.
Too scary.
That was interesting.
Man, you'd be alright.
Too scary.
You'd be alright.
Too scary.
Yeah.
I've gone through that game twice
being
already, so I can't do it again.
I saw a lot of the gameplay, and the biggest real gripe with it, like people have, is that it's cool when it's just you and the alien, but when they start throwing in like human people, the game falls apart.
Because you have to play that the right way. You have to get the alien
to kill the
people. The alien was your major weapon.
Yeah, you are not about to sit here and get into a gun battle.
No. Because if you got into a gun battle, then the alien comes, and then everybody gets screwed. But you're going to be one of the first ones to get screwed.
But I was really taken in by the presentation. I mean, they were really very dedicated to recreating the original Alien feel.
They really did. They really did.
Yeah, that shit was sweet. Hollow Knight, Silk Song, coming out in 2019 as well.
Nice.
By the way, all these games that I've mentioned, all 2019. All 2019. Like Alternate Lines, everything from there on is 2019. They were just throwing everything on this fucking system. Crystal Chronicles, which I'm interested in. Because I didn't have the original. And at the time, I was more like, if it's not, big CG effects, if it's not PlayStation, it's not a real Final Fantasy, and this looks like jank butt. But then I got older and I got more interested in it. But then you realize you need all this shit to make multiplayer work, because what that game is really for, and that is just not happening. You need link cables and Game Boys, and everybody had to have a game. This isn't gonna fucking work. So now with this being, done with technology, with current technology to make it all easier, I'm looking forward to doing multiplayer in that. Dauntless, sure, whatever. Wolfenstein, it's a game that's out. Wolfenstein Youngblood, which you'll probably be into because you like playing Wolfenstein on Switch.
Yes.
Those are done by. I'm just having a big brain.
If you get the deluxe edition for that, they give you. If you get the deluxe edition for Youngblood, they give you the code to give to a friend.
Holy shit!
You can pull them into the game. So that's for anybody, so that you can do that.
Yeah, whoever ports those games, like Wolfenstein and Doom, do a really good job. I know Machine Games makes the original, but it's a specific house that does them for the Switch, and I can't remember, but whatever. Doom Eternal, also.
Yeah.
But you got a PC now, bro. I mean,
I'm not getting it on Switch.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
I have this on my phone.
It a transfer.
So many things in 2019. So they went through all these games, crazy, and then of course the Banjo-Kazooie announcement, which was huge. A lot of people freaked out and lost their goddamn mind. And then you think it's over, and then of course any good conference, any good video has to have one more thing, and it's a spooky ass Zelda trailer. Breath of the Wild sequel in development, which means you won't see that game for like 3 fucking years, but it's in development. And I like Breath of the Wild. The biggest criticism with the game really is that it lacked dungeons and really overarching story. And this one appears to kind of be more like that, have more story, more
some more story.
And I'm thinking more dungeons since it appears to be underground. And the castle's about to start flying or some shit.
The castles look like it's about to float in the sky or something.
It's some spooky shit though.
And then apparently they say it's supposed to be darker than Majora's Mask.
Well, Majora's Mask is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
It's just plain creepy.
I mean, they showed a husk.
Apparently that's Ganon.
Right. They showed the husk.
Yeah.
Sitting there with the energy.
Man, that's just fuck, man.
That's not Ganon, is it? That's not Ganon.
It's got because it looked like it.
No, yeah, that's probably Ganon.
Yeah.
Because it was the same. It was that same energy that was in Breath of the Wild. That was the energy of what you fought of him. So I'm sure that's the body of him.
That part was annoying.
Resurrect.
In the playing music backwards and stuff like that. I mean, it falls in line. People are like, "Oh, another one like that one. We have to have a different one." I mean, there was Ocarina of Time. There was Majora's Mask. So it's not out of order. It's not like some weird thing to different Nintendo do a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Especially with the way it's sold. You don't just forget a game. You spent that much time, that many years working on an open world like that. You're gonna just do one game with it? No.
For all that stuff that you could do in it.
Exactly.
Everything. I mean, it was great for the way that it played.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Exactly, do more. So I'm cool down with it. There are rumors, but they can all be nonsense. There's a rumor that it could be co-op and you get to play with Zelda. Nintendo has not confirmed that, but it's exciting. It's new. It's a new Zelda. So.
I never finished Breath of the Wild.
Me neither, of course.
And then when it showed that, it led me to go into. Okay, maybe now I can finish this.
It could be worth it to go back. For me, it was just to get me to Mario Odyssey. I love Zelda, but I'm a Mario boy at heart, and so you give me Odyssey and. Well,
that was a system seller for me.
Oh, Breath of the Wild?
No, Odyssey.
Odyssey, yeah.
Odyssey.
Like knowing Odyssey was also there, it was like
Odyssey.
I need to have it. So. But no, I'm looking for. I mean, it looks cool. Like again, you want to see it for a while. And I saw this hilarious meme of like, you get it's Nintendo. Then you get a picture of like Link's Awakening. He's like fishing it. It's cute. Also Nintendo. This fucked up ass skeleton and shit. Looking all spooky.
I think they got a thing going on right now.
So like Nintendo, that was everything. Nintendo fucking won E3. Like that volley, the initial volley of E3, those press conferences, that information, Nintendo owned that conversation outside of Square with Final Fantasy. Yeah. Like in Cyberpunk at Microsoft, but Nintendo had more to talk about. They had Zelda, they had Banjo, they had Panzer Dragoon, they had all these hype moments, No More Heroes, Luigi's Man, and all of it was quality, like for the most part. Except for Contra. Contra was trash, and it drug it down by like instead of an S+++, Contra made it like an S+++.
But I mean, the game, you got stuff that you weren't. That was what E3 is supposed to be. You want stuff that you don't expect.
You don't expect.
You want stuff that you are praying and hoping for, and then you're just getting stuff that just is having you so intrigued. But then they also offered, like you just said, they offered stuff that you did not really have to wait for because they're like, this is coming out this year. Mm-hmm. This is in a few months. I mean, there is something coming out from what they said. Through the year,
yeah,
you were covered.
There's our shit to the games.
Right,
like,
you
people
were
have a Switch and they go, "There's no games for me on this thing." I'm like, I don't know what games you like to play.
What do you want to play?
Like,
because literally all this year, you have everything you want.
It's insane. Like, it's so much. I couldn't be happier to have a Switch. It's definitely not a thing that sits in the back burner for me.
Definitely.
Like the only reason it sits in the back burner for me right now is because my Joy-Con's fucked. So first of all, that shouldn't be ignored. Shame on Nintendo for coming up with a defective ass controller. Those things cost too much goddamn money for that to have happened. But they will fix it for free outside of the warranty. So, but you gotta send your whole Switch away.
Yeah. This was a long podcast.
Oh no, it's long as fuck. But no, we can wrap it. That's E3 in a nutshell. Big nutshell.
We did 4 days and 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
I kind of figured it was going to be a beefy podcast.
It was a beefy show.
It was multiple days that we were covering of stuff.
That's right.
Beefy show. Feel free to go back to our twitch.tv/SFXXPLAY. You can check out the VOD of us reacting to the shows as they happen. We were streaming the whole doggone time. Playing games in between, be whipping Mo's ass in Dead or Alive. Hey, Mo brought it back in Marvel, baby. It was crazy.
I wasn't going down like no bitch. I wasn't losing 3 games in a row.
You guys being great friends and Overcooked. Feel free to watch that again. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SFXXPLAY for all of the content. We still have more E3 content coming to that channel, baby. So keep an eye on that. Definitely check out our Facebook page where we have announcements for upcoming live events and other things that we are doing. Feel free to follow us individually at Twitter. I am Mr. _Snooty on there. You are?
Alright, Simply Dave. I am Super Simply Dave.
Oh.
Yeah, that is my name.
Like
Super Simply Dave.
Mario. You are?
Big _Mo_88.
Alright, I don't think Matt has a Twitter. But he has a home address. It is not. He can come do a meet and greet.
God damn.
You might get shot, but that's not my business.
God damn. Said man has an address.
I was gonna ask for each person's game of the show, but we can just do that later. We can make that into a YouTube video. Wow. So we are wrapping this up for Foxy Steve, for Simply Dave, for Hazmat. This has been the Off the Rails podcast, and we will see you guys later.
Night.
My God, I had the
Bye.
biggest piss of shit.
I've been holding this for all day.
What?